What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Nightcap, and I'm your host, Troy. I'm back with the boys. What's up, fellas?
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good?
What's the word?
Not much. We chilling. You know, we like to lay back and relax, man. We got Clutch in the house. What's up, Clutch?
What's good? What's good, fellas?
Boo-wop back in the house. What's up, Boo-wop?
What's the word, my brothers?
Not much. Mulich is supposed to be stopping by. He'll get here when he get here. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying this Wednesday night. Hope you guys all have blessed days. But let's jump back into it. We're gonna start off light, just a little light. Jay Crowder said he would not mind going back to the Heat. Do you guys like that move?
I like it for him in Miami. Like, to me, when I look at Jay Crowder, he's a guy who would probably fit on like most rosters because I guess he's a 3-and-D, even though his defense hasn't been up there. So for him to go to Miami, I could see it. Maybe they get him and maybe they throw in Duncan Robinson because he was kind of like just riding the pond for most of the playoffs.
Yeah. Especially against the Boston Celtics type team when you don't need a guy like that, tough and whatever he does. And because I think in Phoenix he's asked to do more. He can hide better in Miami. The defense in Miami is much better. You know what I'm saying? It's the culture is. I ain't gonna lie, Monty Williams is a good coach to me, but Eric Spoelstra got a great culture over there in Miami. So I think he'll be able to go hide in that system. He played in that system already. So yeah, it only makes sense for him. It hurts the Suns though because, well, they still got Mikal Bridges, but outside of him, Johnson. The other guy, I guess, that would kind of fill that void, I don't know. Campaign, I don't know.
I think it works for him. But then again, like this is probably one of those things where I don't really know how much of a say he has in the situation because it is like Jay Crowder. Like, what real say do you have in this situation? But if he can get it done and if he wants to go back to Miami, I can't see a reason why Pat Riley wouldn't want him back. I could see it working. Like you said, I think he fits there because he's like he's a legit role player. He's a guy who just does what he does and that's it. So I could see him fitting perfectly there if he doesn't want to be in Phoenix and Phoenix doesn't want him there no more.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, right. I mean, he's a defensive guy. He played there. He had fun there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he built some bonds there, so he wouldn't mind going back. Excuse me, I'm tired. I've been up since 6. Yeah, he could definitely come back to Boston.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
It's a lot of teams he can go to. Like
Clutch. I don't know if he fits in Boston because Boston, you got Grant Williams, you got Tatum, you got Brown. Like, does he? Like, where's his minutes will go for Boston? I know you're a Boston fan, so you're like, yo, well, 5 minutes won't. But I don't know if he
Gallinari got
in
hurt.
Boston.
What are you talking about? Gallinari
but Gallinari.
They gonna. I think he will find. I think he wouldn't be so much involved in the regular season rotation, but in the playoffs, I think that's where he'll find his niche on that team. Like, he's been there before. Like, he would be clutch. You know what I mean?
Right.
He'd be so clutch. You feel me? You feel me?
I hear you.
So Lonzo's will miss 4 to 6 weeks after having knee surgery. How you guys feeling about that and the Bulls in this early season?
Well, it's not good for him because like he's starting to become one of those guys who are injury prone. Like, he's been injured most of his career, and that's not good. And I think I would say the worst thing about it is this time he got injured, he probably was playing the best basketball he's played since he's been in the NBA.
This is
facts. I'm not mad at that.
This is facts.
Do you think the Bulls will still have a good season, even if he misses more time than the 4 to 6 weeks? Because that's a month to a month and a half.
Yeah, they should still be a top 6 seed, maybe.
Yeah, but for me, top six is you're pushing it
Yeah,
because now you might mess around and end up in the play-in, and I still think the play-in is one of the dumbest things ever. But they're not gonna
Me
stop
too.
it
I'm
because
with you, cause I hate the plan.
they're
I
not gonna
only hate
stop
it.
it because
I
of
hate it with
revenue.
the 10th seed. I hate it because of the 10th seed. The 9
I hate
seed
it
I
because of
can
the 9 seed
somewhat
too.
understand.
Just
What
straight
I
hate.
would have liked for them to did was to made it only if it's a tight race between the seven, a legit one. Like I'm talking about their records are identical. The 8th and 9th seed. Then I can understand they okay, let's do a play-in game.
Like
I can
if it's a
almost understand it.
if it's a tiebreaker, but like
Right,
now it's just like I think the tenth. I think who was the tenth seed in the East? I think it may have been Atlanta. I think them and Brooklyn had like an 8 to 10 game difference. Like it's
right.
crazy. Like there's no reason
Yeah,
why you should have a chance to make the playoffs. But and then
exactly.
like it's the one thing I hate about professional sports. Like ownership will figure out something to do one time, and the original reason for doing it, I get it. It was the pandemic. All teams didn't play 82 games, and you did it the next season again because once again, all teams didn't play 82 games. But what is the reason for
Facts.
doing it now? All teams are playing 82 games. There's no reason. You're just doing it for money.
Oh, you know that's what it is. Definitely for money. Definitely for money, like revenue.
100%. I
Because
hate the
it
plan.
doesn't really it doesn't really do anything. Like every now and then, like you're gonna probably see a 9 seed possibly sneak in, but the reality is, only thing you you chancing is a team star player getting hurt in one of these games. Like
Yeah,
that's what you're chancing,
and
and
maybe,
then
but that's one of those things. Like if it happens, all right, then you're gonna stop it. But why does it have to get there for this?
that's what I'm saying. Like it only made sense to me if you put stipulations in place. We'll have a wild card game. If you have a if the ninth seed has a above 500 record, like it had to be stipulations for me. You know what I'm saying, to make it make sense. And the eighth seed would have to be within like 2 games or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. That's a little make sense thing type of, like I can all it don't make a whole lot of sense still, because just the 8 best teams should just go to the playoffs. Simple. But I can almost see
100%.
it like a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, this is why y'all doing that, to make it competitive, so teams don't tank or do X, Y, and Z down the stretch. Cool.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't, nah, get the playing out of here. I don't care what you do it for. Get that shit up out of here. So LeBall James, then
That
shaved
was
his damn hair.
that was Photoshop. I don't believe it.
I
Even
hope
Nah,
even
so.
though like as a grown man who's a bald head, like yo, bro, just embrace it, bro. Because him and Kevin Durant need to just let it go. Like just let it go.
Mullich.
you don't believe it, Mulek?
What's good? What's good? What's good,
You
y'all?
don't
Sorry
believe?
for the
Yeah, what
wait.
up?
Not so good. You don't believe that LeBron James is real?
Nah, I
No,
think that's Photoshop, bro. You need to
no.
let it go, bro.
LeBron has spent almost $1 million on that headlining, boy.
It's
Woo!
no,
Oh,
He
I think
it's
he
finally let
finally
it
let it
no
go
go.
because he didn't
way,
want to spend another million.
Yeah,
it's
I think
no
he
way
finally
he
let it
spent
go.
He
a
let that shit
millions of
go,
Mm.
dollars on
bro.
that
Yeah,
He
hairline,
literally
bro.
had the barber in the back. How's it? I don't think it's Photoshop.
I feel like
I
he
don't.
did because Jimmy
Nah,
went and got the extensions. You feel me? Brian was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. It's good. I got you.
He trying to really look like Jordan, huh?
I don't think
Oh
he paid
man.
He
somebody
taking it
that.
too far.
Yo,
LeBron
he needs to let it
James.
go. Him, Kevin Durant, they need to
That's what
let
I
it
should have
go,
named the
bro.
episode. LeBron James.
Yeah, facts
CP3
though.
needs to let it go through too. They need to just embrace it, bro.
I was just
At
telling
least
this guy
Man.
at my work, man, my job, man. Shout out Cologne, man. Let it go, bro.
yeah. At least CP3, like he tries to hide it. He gets the extremely light Caesar.
Oh man,
The salad.
Y'all funny.
Extremely light Caesar
it
salad.
might be that time, man. I think it's real. I think he just said, you know what? I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
think
go
Nah,
it's
ahead
real.
and
I didn't think I
nah.
didn't think when
Y'all,
I added it to the list that you guys was gonna come on and say it was Photoshop.
y'all don't see
Yo,
y'all
I
don't see
looked at it.
Brian
If you look at his
season
hair,
opener.
it
Freshly.
looks like it's Photoshop. It's a filter or something. That's it's not real. I don't believe it.
Brian
the way
finna
he's
have that
smiling make it look
crispy.
fake.
Yeah, and he did it before. Remember the video he did where he actually cut his hair? Why he let it grow back? Like Savannah needs to sit him down and have a long conversation with that man, bro.
Not the wife.
Yo, somebody.
Brian, like, long as y'all don't get me from the top, I'm decent. Y'all catch me from that top when like, he be decent. As soon as he sit down is when you notice everything. You
I
like,
respect that. I understand that sentiment.
Remember he had the fade.
He said
for
no
a
aerial
minute,
shots,
like
bro. Keep it right here in the face. No aerial shots.
keep it right here.
Right
Give me
here.
right here. I'm decent.
Keep it
And
in
then
my
he be
face.
rocking the do-rag and he don't got no waves. Like, what are we really
funny,
doing
Clutch.
here, bro?
Oh, goodness gracious. Not the do-rag with no waves.
Hey,
Need to let it go, bro.
so I'm gonna pose this question. I had it on my little PTI and Clubhouse or whatnot. They actually talking about it right now. In 2012, if you was the GM or owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder, would you only got three options. Would you trade Harden? Would you trade Westbrook? Or would you trade Ibaka?
I would trade Ibaka.
Yep, I was gonna say I trade Ibaka.
I'm trading Westbrook. Get Russell out of here. I'm trading Westbrook.
I think that dynamic between those three was really good, and I think if you could have let James Harden develop a little bit more into somewhat of a player he is today, he wouldn't have probably a starting role, probably still be a 6-man. But I think if you give him more of what he learned, the shooting, the dribble, the step back, I think that team is dangerous with a guy like James Harden coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Harden, Durant, and Ibaka is better than Westbrook, Harden, and Durant.
Are you saying that because of what we've seen from Westbrook recently? Because nobody was talking about Westbrook like that, really.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I defend Russ, but I 110% hate the way he plays the game of basketball. I've always hated the way he played the game of basketball. Like when the series they blew the 3-1 lead, I was literally going out with my friends, and I was like, you do know every time they give the ball to Russ, something's bad gonna happen for you, bro. And I just don't like the way he played. I don't like the way James Harden played basketball, but I like the way James Harden played basketball more than I like the way Russell Westbrook plays basketball.
I'm gonna say this, and Russ is one of my favorite players, probably top 5 favorite players of all time. I'm trading him, and it's not because he's not a great player, none of that. It's because I think in 2012, I keep telling people, everybody be like, oh, well, are you speaking in hindsight because we know what James Harden became? No. In 2012, I could see James Harden could be a very special player in this league, giving the right opportunities. That opportunity should have been OKC as the lead guard. Him and Kevin Durant would have meshed better.
That's a good point.
They would have meshed better. We've seen it in Brooklyn.
Very good point.
You know what I mean? We've seen this in Brooklyn. We've seen that. And I'm not even using it. I'm using just what I knew off of James Harden from 2009 to 2012. I knew then he was a better decision maker than Russell Westbrook. Right then. This guy, it looks like the point guard of the team when he's on the court. He's setting up people. He's running plays where Westbrook is attacking and getting assists, of course. But it's not the same when you got a guy that can actually play the real second option to Kevin Durant.
That's true. That's true.
I think you could have traded at that time in 2012. You got to think of it this way too. Whose stock value was more higher, Russell Westbrook or James Harden?
It was Westbrook.
You can get more for Westbrook.
Yeah, but Russ was also a cornerstone of that offense. Like, I get what you're saying
I
about
understand
James being but we don't know what James would have been at that time to say he should have been the cornerstone or the second option or whatever. We don't know what James looks like if he never gets his own team. We don't know what that James Harden looks like. We know what
we don't know what the production is.
Yeah, but we know what the production from Russell Westbrook is.
All right, how about
pairing that up with KD? I don't think that pairing was bad. I think if you got more shooters around those two, they could have definitely made it. I think you keep James Harden on that team. James Harden develops his shot on that team. I think that team is unstoppable. I think they're
James Harden was a very good player on that team, though. Like,
no,
his skill set
100%
was there.
100%. But we don't know what the aspect of taking Westbrook out of that situation and leave James Harden there would do to the team. I don't. Do you think they would have more success? Because I think they have the same amount of success with James Harden and KD.
Let me pose it to you this way. Let me pose it to you this way. So your core now, if trade Westbrook, is Harden, Ibaka, and Durant. Let's say you trade Russell Westbrook to Boston. for Rondo and Avery Bradley?
I'm not getting Rondo if I got James Harden.
You got to think about
like-
it from a championship standpoint. Like
The
you
one
can't.
thing,
Who else you gonna get for Russell Westbrook that's gonna make your team in 2012, right? At that time, we talking about still a very prime-ish Rondo. He's still kind of prime
Yeah,
Rondo.
I wouldn't make that trade.
Why not?
You know what? I'm trying to think, but you know
Why
what trade
not?
I would make, but I don't know if
prime Rondo and sort of prime Avery Bradley. They were good for Boston.
Russell Westbrook is better than both of them at that time.
100%. But situation, I know what they look like in Boston situation. I don't know what Russell Westbrook looks like in that situation. So I'm going to stick with
Boston
the two
pulls
guys
the
that I know
trigger.
that we can use.
I think
Boston
they
probably pulls the
absolutely
trigger. I said,
pull the
don't
trigger.
make that trade. I said, I don't make that trade.
Right, but I'm saying I'm talking about it from
Boston,
more.
If you wanted to give Boston James Harden in 2012, I'll make that trade for Avery Bradley and Rondo.
Oh hell no!
But what I'm talking about is from a OKC standpoint. I'm making that move to pair Bradley and Rondo, two defensive guys with Harden, Ibaka, and Kevin Durant. I'm making that move.
I'll probably do it too because of the floor spacing. That floor spacing would be so fucking crazy.
It would, but
you got.
But we didn't really think about floor spacing like that in 2012. If
right.
I'm going to Indiana and I'm asking if I could get Paul George for Russell Westbrook. Because Paul George isn't the Paul George he is today.
No, well, if you go get Paul George, you might have to give up Russell and James.
No.
Hold
on. You got to remember, we're talking Paul George in 2012. Paul George in 2012 wasn't even a 20-point per game scorer.
That's fine.
He was not viewed as good as Russell Westbrook at 2012.
Yeah.
But
Russell Westbrook
was as good as, but you gotta look. We gotta then go back to what I said about James Harden, his upside. Does he becomes a James Harden that he became?
I didn't see the upside in Paul George in 2012 yet. I've seen it in Harden.
That's you. But scouts would tell you they've seen the upside in Paul George. So if the people are scouting people, right, and they're looking at Paul George games, like, okay, this guy could be a talent in this league, a young talent that I could pair with another young talent and KD. Yeah, they probably make that trade, but then Indy probably asks for a lot too to give up the guy that they think is their future. That's why
they're gonna take Russell Westbrook
and James Harden.
But this is Russell Westbrook.
Ain't no way they giving up Russell Westbrook.
What I want. Then
you crazy?
But it's Russell Westbrook. He's a top 5 point guard in the league for a guy
top 15 player at that time.
They're making that trade, bro.
I'll take him. Thank you.
I'm making that trade from Indy. That's a good team too. I didn't think of Indy at that time, but yeah, that's a good team, and I think Indy definitely making that trade. No hesitation.
I think they pull the trigger too.
They pulling the trigger.
I can see Indy pulling the trigger on Westbrook. Yeah, definitely. But I think
I don't see them asking for James. They can
ask for James. That's all
you can ask for him. I'm gonna tell you.
I was gonna say I definitely think they acquire for James though, for sure. Like
it's either him or Ibaka you're putting in that deal.
No,
I'm not. I'm not giving you nothing. But Russell Westbrook.
But what you're not counting for is what Indy saw in Paul George. Why they drafted him.
He was going to averaging 12 points.
It does not matter what he was averaging.
It does matter. You got a bona fide star.
And he was a defensive problem though.
Russell Westbrook was a bona fide star. Paul George wasn't.
Just because he's a bona fide star doesn't mean you just trade for him because he's a bona fide star, boo.
Yes, you do. That's how the league works.
You're getting a star in return.
Oh my God.
It's not like you're getting
exactly
a
how the league works.
Y'all do what y'all want with y'all team. I'm not doing it. I'm not just going to take a guy because he's a star. I'm not doing that. He has to fit the dynamic of my team. He has to fit the dynamic.
I'm always taking a better player.
Here. So if you trade Russell Westbrook to a system that he does not fit in, then what happens? You traded your pieces away for nothing. Because guess what you're going to do with Russell Westbrook after that? You're going to move him again. Because you're not going to sit here and tell me that Russell goes to any team and any team in the NBA builds a system around Russ. It's not happening. It's not
He's putting up 25, 8, and 8 anywhere he goes.
It does not matter.
Yes, it does. That's who he is.
Around him, boo. No, I'm not. Like you're not listening, bro. Y'all doing the same thing y'all do all the time. You're not listening. I'm talking about the system.
I know who Russell Westbrook is. I know who he is, Troy. I know who he is. Russell Westbrook can go to any team in his prime and take them to the playoffs. He can go to any team in his prime and take them to the playoffs. I don't care. Yeah, Boston would have definitely pulled that trigger in 2012 if he was on the board. And they definitely pulling it for Rondo and Avery Bradley. Ain't no way you asking for 2 players for Russell Westbrook at that time. Give me James Harden and Russ. Who is that?
Especially when it's Paul George.
And when it's Paul George.
Harden, and correct me if I'm wrong. Was James Harden not a sixth man in 2012?
That's the only. You either get one or the other. You could almost go James Harden for Paul George at that time.
That I wouldn't be mad at. That I wouldn't be mad at. But what I'm saying is, if I'm going to Indy and I'm like, all right, I want Paul George for Westbrook, you don't think Indy's going to be like, all right, this is our future here. I don't know how Westbrook meshes with the rest of the guys I have here, so I might have to make more moves. So you know what? Let me get James or Ibaka in the deal, or throw me four picks in the deal. That's all I'm saying. You guys be acting crazy.
Four picks.
A team don't.
Picks.
What did Rudy just get? Did anybody expect Rudy Gobert to go for where he goes? No, right? It's called negotiating. When the Nets got Garnett and Paul Pierce, did anybody think Boston was going to rob them like that? No, it happens all the time. So stop it.
That's not the same thing. You're talking about established players. You guys
just said that he's a bona fide star. So if I'm asking,
Russell Westbrook,
right, Russell, right, and you also got to take in Indy's aspect of it. Paul George was going to be that guy, right? The guy to step up, the guy to face. He was still growing in 2012. What year was Paul George drafted?
2010.
2010.
So 2 years in the league. 2 years in the league. 2 years.
Okay.
2 years in the league.
Okay.
We're talking about Paul George like he's nothing 2 years into the league.
You talking about Paul George like he's Paul George today?
I'm talking about in the aspect of Indy. Why they drafted Paul George. Why they drafted him. What they wanted him for, right, was to be the future of their franchise. So now I'm trading away the future of my franchise. I don't care if he's averaging 12 points. We're talking about why they drafted him and what they're getting in return. If they're trading away their future, right? If I'm trading away my future, you damn well I'm going to ask for a boatload of shit back.
Well, hold on.
You're acting like that shit is unheard of for a team to go in and be like,
it's very unheard of when he's not an established player, Troy.
Okay.
But you're saying they're trading away their future. You're acting like they're getting a 36.
Yes, because Paul George was their future. Hold on.
But hold on. You're acting like they're getting a 36-year-old Russell Westbrook. He's 24. But Russell Westbrook. Hold on. But Russell. They're 2 years difference. It's 2 years. That's it. 2 years. They still 22. Have a future with Russell Westbrook.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I don't understand. I don't.
But they're not trading away their future. They have a future with Russell Westbrook.
I drafted Cade Cunningham, right, and then I'm looking at my future to my team going through Cade Cunningham, and then James Harden becomes available, right?
That's not the same.
You damn right. I would give up, right? Well, Westbrook comes available, right? You might want to give up, right? Even young, you can say young, whoever the players are. You want to give up. What I'm saying is, right, which I don't understand why you guys don't get it, because it literally just happened like 3 times in this offseason. Like Boston robbed Indy. Boston robbed Indy this year.
For who?
The Timberwolves robbed the Utah. I mean, Utah robbed the Timberwolves, whatever you want to say it.
How?
For all the picks they got, Buwak.
I don't feel that.
Not saying here. That's
I don't feel that.
That's you.
Yeah. So why you gotta make it my Why you gotta make my opinion yours?
No, I'm not talking about making your opinion. I'm just sharing my opinion. That's all. I don't understand what you're talking about.
No, you're sharing. You just said many people. Like if you felt that way, that's fine.
No, I didn't. Cool. I didn't even get to the part of saying many people. I didn't even. I would say the consensus because that's what I say. I don't say many people. I would say the consensus, and I was going there, right? What the consensus thinking. But what I'm saying is when you draft a guy, right? Whether it's Westbrook, KD, Paul George, LeBron James, this guy, and you're going to trade that guy away, you're going to want a lot in return. That's all I'm saying. You're going to want a lot in return. And if you're saying, if you guys are saying Westbrook is a lot, no, it does. Like you can say the established player, but I didn't see role players go for crazy deals.
I've never seen this. I've never seen a team try to.
We don't watch the team.
At that time, look for a average player at best. At that time, Paul George was an average player.
Yes, with upside to be a star. That's what the scouts are looking at. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Westbrook is established and Paul George is not. I understand that, but what I'm saying is Paul George got drafted to Indy to be something there. And that's what he developed there. If you go and look at his career, that's what he developed to. So if you trade Paul George to OKC, Paul George still becomes the same player he was in Indy. That's what I'm saying, that Indy is looking at the upside of Paul George, him being their franchise guy, right? Him being the guy to run the team. So when I'm trading that guy away, I'm going to ask for a lot, and that's all I'm saying.
And Russell Westbrook probably come be averaged a triple-double before he ever did.
That's fine. I don't care.
Why are you acting like Paul George is a championship player, Troy?
No, I'm
right
not.
now, then, since you won in hindsight.
I said his upside. At the time, his upside. I never say he was a champion. I never
so
said
Westbrook don't have upside?
You guys love twisting everything. You love twisting everything, and I hate that shit. What I'm saying is, and it's the last time I'm going to say it, when you draft a guy to be your franchise guy, when you go to trade him, you're asking for a lot for him and in return for him. I don't care who he is, what his upside is, and what his upside is not.
That is not true. That is not true.
Okay. Then
that is
not
true.
Okay.
If he's not an established player, you cannot ask for that much.
What about Kevin Love? Okay. What about Kevin Love for Andrew Wiggins? Was Kevin Love not their franchise?
Oh, 100%. But that's what I was going to. That's what I was going to go to. But when you get to a place, right, where a player has played in that system for a long time, like Kevin Love, KG, then you can trade those guys away, right? And you can be like, all right, this ain't working. This guy's not going to be here. I'm going to lose him for nothing. Let me just get what I can get in return for him. I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is not adequate enough to be in a trade for Paul George at that time. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm looking at Paul George upside, and I'm saying if you want Paul George from me and the dynamic I have on this Indy team, I want something else with Westbrook. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's Ibaka, it's James, whether they send him or they don't send him. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying I'm asking for something more. That's it.
I can see them asking for Cephalosha, honestly. If you're gonna trade a wing, if you're gonna ask for Paul George, I can see the Pacers asking for Cephalosha just to balance out the defense because Paul George was the defensive problem.
With him. Whoever, I don't care if
it's
not Ibaka, but if I was them, and I preface my comments by saying if I was Indy, I'm asking for James Harden.
And guess what? I'm not giving you. I'm gonna say your ass smoking crack.
That's fine.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Happen this year with KD. They asked for a ball, and them niggas told them to go smoke a blunt. That's what they thought. I'm talking
KD
about what you're
is
saying.
35 years old.
Right. I'm not talking about KD himself being traded. I'm talking about what you just said. You're telling me no, right, for the deal. I'm saying, okay, we just seen that this year. Niggas was like, go smoke a blunt. You wilding with that trade. I could be wrong.
Because
like, yo,
Kevin Durant is 35.
I'm doing the Danny Ainge. That's what I'm saying. I learned from the best. From the best.
Not the best.
Danny Ainge is the best at robbery. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Danny Ainge is the best at robbery.
Yo, but he got one ring.
Danny Highway robbery Ainge.
What did I just say? Clutch. This is what I mean, Mulich. Nobody listens. What did I just say? Did I say anything about ring? Did I say anything about him winning? Did I say anything about him winning, Clutch? No, I did not. I said
you're robbing me. What are you getting? You're killing a fake chain.
I'm not talking about what he gets from robbing. I'm saying he robs them. You can't take away that this guy gets monster deals because he doesn't do nothing with them. Because I could go back to Danny's age time in Boston, and I could put a lot of those years on us getting injured. Not on Danny Ainge, on us getting injured.
Man,
Danny Highway robbery
Danny would have more than one ring if KD just not get injured in 2010.
We're not doing that because I already did that today.
Minnesota pulled the deal on Gobert. Listen, Minnesota pulled the deal on Gobert because they did not have to give up nothing from their core, and they feel like they're a win now type of team. I don't know why they do, but they do. And that's understandable. That's okay.
But what is the consensus around that trade?
The consensus is that they paid a lot for Rudy Gobert, but I think if you're a championship team, that's cool,
But they didn't get robbed for Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell wasn't a robbery.
No. But I'm saying again, it wasn't straight robbery.
If you swap the deals, though, I think Donovan Mitchell should have went for Rudy. What Rudy went with, and Rudy should have went for what Donovan went.
Nah, neither one of them get 5 picks. Neither one of them was worth 5 picks for me.
But in Minnesota feel like they're gonna be good for a while, so they're not worried about their next 4 years.
No, and I get that, but that does not mean that Danny Ainge didn't rob them from their damn picks. Because now, if you go into it,
he had leverage. He used leverage, just like he did when he was in Boston.
If
Danny Highway robbery Ainge.
If Rudy and Cat don't work out, then we're going to be like, oh, he robbed them. He got the bad deal.
I'm not going to say that. I always believe in trying to go for a championship. Me personally, if you're a player away from winning a title, I don't have a problem with it. Rudy Gobert is a very good defensive player.
That's why I want Russell Westbrook and James Harden, because I want to go for a championship.
Yeah, I would trade Russell Westbrook, and I love Russell Westbrook.
I don't think
James Harden don't never become the version of James Harden with that team. He would always be treading behind.
And I
Russell Westbrook And Russell Westbrook is not a natural two guard. Even if you tell
But we
Russell
don't
slide over
know.
to the two,
So do you think?
he's not
So
a natural
what
two
you're
guard.
saying is you think if Wesley Westbrook is not there and James gets the flourish there and becomes the Houston James Harden, that him and KD fits well together, just those two in Ibaka.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
James Harden.
How many championships do they win?
I think they
One
get
for sure.
one, which is more than what they
One for
got with
sure.
Russ.
One. I'm keeping it a buck.
I
James
think
Harden and
James
Kevin
Harden-
Durant clearly plays better
Yeah.
So
together.
when KD made the statement of why he left OKC because he was tired of being the only scorer, that was just referred to Russell Westbrook and nobody else on the team.
He said he was tired of being the only player with skills. He wanted to go play with skills.
Scorers. He said scorer. I read the quote literally last month.
But James wasn't there no more.
And read it word from word.
But James was gone.
Yeah, well,
he
he sounded
tired of being
stupid
the
then.
only shooter. The shooter.
He sounded stupid then because Russell Westbrook won a scoring title while he was saying
not
that.
Scorer. I'm correcting myself. He said he was tired of being the only shooter. He was tired of being the only shooter there, so he left.
Right.
That was
but
his
James
words,
wasn't
right?
there. But yeah,
right.
but James
so
wasn't
if
there.
If James there, I would agree with you guys. That helped him, right? Because he'll have some more shooting if James becomes the James Harden of Houston in OKC system, because OKC system is different from the system that was handed to James Harden.
But I personally,
that's something else that we have to take in consideration. Does James Harden fit in that system, being a focal point in that system? What was the Brooks Scott? Was that the coach at the time? Scott Brooks. Can he make the adjustments to get those two to work together?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. You know why? You know why? Because I think
we're all talking hypothetically here.
They was working together fine. Why can't they still work together, Troy? Why can't they still work together? They was playing fine. Why they can't still work together?
We talking about
Harden and Kevin Durant. Why couldn't they still work together?
I said,
didn't they just play the season before? And Harden is moving to the number two. So you saying a guy that went from being a number three in his first year with a very new offense went to the number one option, looked like a very good number one option too in his first year. Talking about a Houston system. What system? It was James Harden. He was just playing basketball.
Thank you, Bua. Thank you.
What? So you don't believe a player can thrive in the
James Harden? What I'm saying is James Harden is going to have another guy next to him who is a superstar. I don't know what that looks like because James Harden is not going to have the ball in his hand like he did in Houston. The system is different.
So
I'm not saying it doesn't work.
Why do you think he was going to flourish still
I don't know how it works.
So let me ask you this. Why do you still think it will work then if you're already saying you think he's going to struggle with just Kevin Durant being there? Why do you think it's going to work?
Nobody said that.
What did you just say then?
Nobody said that.
You said you don't think he can make the adjustments to be a number two option.
Scott Brooks. No, I did not. I did not say James. I don't think James Harden can make the adjustments. Now you're putting words in my mouth. When did somebody else tell me? When did I say James Harden cannot make the adjustments? Somebody please tell me.
Then who are we talking about?
Watch this back.
Then who are we talking about then?
What I said was Scott Brooks. Thank you. That's what I said. I don't know if Scott Brooks can make the adjustments right with KD and James Harden to make them work together as a 1 and 2 option. That's what I said.
But did KD and Russ work together? But did KD and Russ work together? No.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of did. They went to the finals.
Right. And
with Harden, they didn't go without him.
Yeah, they went with Harden.
True, but they did go to the finals.
I'm not going to dispute Harden being there, but they made it to Western Conference Finals before that. Injuries derailed them. Westbrook got injured this season. KD got injured this season. So when you're saying it didn't work, you got to look at all the aspects. There was better constructed teams than them, right? So if you want to go look at their role players and shit like that, and then put them up against the best teams in the West, you tell me if that team was stacked up to win a championship. I don't think so.
But you also have to look at the mentality. Russell Westbrook is a number 2 with a number one mentality. James Harden, if you look at James Harden, his whole career, he's been comfortable just being the guy. Like, think about it. Think how talented he was in Houston, and he was coming off the bench in OKC. So I 100% believe, hypothetically speaking, his mentality as a number 2 option to Kevin Durant would work.
So what if James Harden stays with KD, and all of a sudden he becomes the same ball hog he was in Houston?
I don't think so because it's not the offense.
But you don't know. We're speaking hypothetically here. We're speaking hypothetically. So if James Harden just becomes the person he is in Houston, right? He's the guy that dribble, tween. He's slowing the offense down. What happens then?
But he didn't do it when he was in Brooklyn. So in a way, I do know because I've seen it.
No, you don't know. Because Kyrie was there. Other aspects was there. You don't know. You cannot say that. It was not just James Harden and KD. And when it was just James Harden and KD, they was winning some games and losing some games. So don't just say like, oh, when those two was on the court, they was winning every time.
And honestly, the reason why we've seen James Harden flourish like that is because D'Antoni put the ball in his hands that many times. With Scott Brooks and KD and James Harden.
KD was the man there. He would have never had the opportunity to be in the second option to do what he did in Houston.
But he wouldn't have to be that guy, though. He wouldn't have to be that guy. So what other version of
yes, so it's either 6-man, you're either getting 6-man James Harden or you're getting Houston James Harden. Which one are you getting?
Exactly.
Why can't you get one in the middle? Why can't
we don't know that?
Show me when you seen it. Show me when you see a middle.
We don't know that.
And I guess the middle clutch would be this year with the 76ers.
Yep, I was going to say, I guess the middle would be this year.
But would he's not getting that James Harden that early in James Harden's career, and that's what you guys are not thinking about.
But why do I don't think he's doing it? But I don't need Houston James Harden to win a championship.
I'm not saying
Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka.
I'm not saying you need Houston James Harden.
I just need James Harden to do
I'm not saying you need Houston James Harden, but you damn sure ain't winning it with a 6-man James Harden.
All I need James Harden to do is be better than Russell Westbrook. And if I put James Harden in the lineup, he's already.
What is better than Russ? Like,
hold on, you want to know? You want to know what's better than Russ?
Russ was in OKC.
He's
bro, I was not hearing this much shit about Russ.
I don't know about that.
I was not hearing this much shit about Russ's game.
Who's the better shooter, James Harden or Russell Westbrook?
He was knocking down threes. He was dunking on people.
He was not.
He was hitting game winners.
He was not knocking down threes.
Yes, he was.
He was not knocking down threes. No, he wasn't.
Yo, I can go show you a highlight clip of Russell Westbrook hitting buzzer-beater threes. Yes, he was knocking down.
I can show you a highlight clip of Shaquille O'Neal hitting free throws. What's the point?
You say he's knocking down threes and automatic you got, he's shooting 50%. Nobody's saying that. He could be
I never said
50%. But
I never said that. I never said that. No, because he was never a good 3-point shooter. I
never said he was a good 3-point shooter. I said he was knocking down threes. That's different from me saying he was a good 3-point shooter. What is wrong with you guys?
Is he a better shooter than James Harden? Yes or no?
What is wrong with you guys tonight?
Is he a better shooter than James Harden?
What is wrong with you guys tonight?
Is he a better shooter than James Harden?
What is wrong with you guys tonight?
Is he a better shooter than James Harden?
I want to know what is wrong with you guys tonight.
I just need to know is he a better shooter?
Statistically, no, but if we're talking about 2012 Russ, he was a 48% two-point shooter, right? That means every time he did a jump shot inside the arc, it was damn near money. He was 48%.
And he shot 31% from
32% from the three-point line, which for him isn't bad considering how he shot in recent times.
And he made a little bit over 1 3 a game.
Which
all I need
for his
him
game
to do
isn't
is
bad.
Better than James Harden. All I need James Harden to do is beat James Harden. Kevin Durant can take the load.
James Harden.
All right. You want to compare the numbers?
No.
You want to compare the numbers?
Where and what situation was James Harden?
But you're using a comparison.
No.
Hold on. Hear me out.
You said you want James Harden to beat James Harden. When was James Harden James Harden?
I said Brooklyn, but then you brought up Kyrie Irving.
Because they had a trio. It was Kyrie, KD, and James. It wasn't just James.
But you asked a question.
James was James in Houston.
Hold on. But you asked the question. I gave you the answer, and it wouldn't suffice.
The right answer, Clutch, is in Houston. That's what James Harden was. Harden.
Because I never seen Houston because he's still in OKC. He doesn't have to be James Harden in Houston
so why did you just
for him
say
to win a championship.
Why did you just say
Brooklyn? I don't know about that. I feel like he does.
Why does he have to be James Harden in Brooklyn for them to win a championship when Kevin Durant is clearly the best player?
He went to Brooklyn not having to be Houston James Harden. That was the talk when he got traded there.
And I'm telling you, if he stays in OKC with Kevin Durant, he doesn't have to be Houston James Harden.
That's what I'm asking you.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, I don't see them. No Houston James Harden with KD. They don't beat Golden State. So he's still in the same predicament he is in Houston.
His last year in OKC, he averaged 16, 4, and 7. You trying to tell me he can't get that to 27 and 7? That's good enough to win the championship.
27 and 7?
Yes,
27 and 7. That's Houston. That's damn near Houston James Harden.
20 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists.
I'm done with this conversation.
Unless are you talking about 27 and 7?
Yes,
not
20.
27.
20.
Okay, well, if you 27 and 7, I don't think so.
I don't think that's enough.
Winning a championship?
Why not?
So.
Why is it not enough with Serge Ibaka? And if I'm not mistaken, they had Steven Adams on that team. Why is that not enough?
Why wasn't it enough when all three of them went to the finals?
Yeah, Serge Ibaka wasn't on that team yet. They still had
James Harden
Kendrick
choked
Perkins,
in the
though.
finals. He choked.
Oh, now
That's
James
what he
Harden
does.
choked, but you leave James Harden there with KD, and it's just a miracle. I don't understand what you're doing here. I don't understand. Like James Harden choked in that finals, but you give him some other options. Take Westbrook out of that, he doesn't choke. I guess, right? Take Westbrook off the team, and you send him back to that finals, and I guess KD and James Harden beats LeBron James, the Wade, and Chris Bosh, right?
That's not the same team. You're talking about after 2012, after that finals.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think James Harden. That's not that we've seen in Houston. If he's not that James Harden, if he's averaging 27 and 7, yeah, I don't see them getting past the Lakers.
I don't see them getting past them. No. Sorry.
I don't see them getting past the Lakers that year.
I'm sorry.
And if they do get past the Lakers, they're definitely not getting past the Spurs.
You can, and that's another thing. I didn't even bring up the Spurs, but you cannot sit here and take a dynamic away from a team that worked. Like if we were sitting here talking about everything else with that OKC team instead of trading Russell Westbrook, because I don't think Russell Westbrook was a problem. I think, yeah, his shooting could have hurt KD, right? Because he needed some more scoring when it came to shooting the ball. But if you put role players around him, you kept James Harden and got rid of Ibaka, you had Steven Adams coming in, so you still had a big man, right? You just found a backup big man. On the team. I think they're right back in the same position to be in the finals, right? Right?
Why do you think?
With James Ibaka gone, see, and I'm keeping Westbrook there because I think Westbrook is a big dynamic of why that team was successful.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I'm asking why. He's also a big dynamic of why it didn't work.
No, the whole 12-man roster is the dynamic why it didn't work. It's not just Russ. What happened to Andrew Robinson? What was it? Whatever his name. He was supposed to be this guy, right? He was supposed to be this guy. He was supposed to be this guy. What happened to him? Now it's all these other excuses. He had the ugliest phone. What happened to him?
He was a great defender that couldn't shoot. Right. What do you mean by he was supposed to be this guy?
Right. He was supposed to be the guy to come in and help KD and Westbrook is what I'm saying.
No, he wasn't. No, he was never supposed to be that guy. What are you talking about?
They drafted him for nothing. They drafted him for nothing, Clutch.
He was a legit. He was a defender. All he did was defend. I don't know where you get this. He was supposed to be this guy. What guy? What guy was he supposed to be?
That they drafted, that they looked at as the piece to come in and be behind Russell Westbrook. And yes, they were. Go back and watch media talk about Andrew Robinson, whatever the guy name is. Go back and watch them talk about him. How they talk. They talk about him like they talk about MPJ right now. That's how he was looked at on OKC.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think you're talking about the wrong guy because Andrew Robinson was the guy. Andrew Robinson was the guy who started, who only played defense. He couldn't shoot if his life depended on it. He was never looked at to be that guy. He was a defensive anchor. That's all he did was play defense for that team. He was never looked to score or anything. He was a legit offensive liability.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is you're 100% correct there. But if you go back and you listen to media and you listen to the scouts, he was not projected to be that. He was looked at to come in and take some of the scoring load, right?
But
I'm not saying shooting. I'm saying scoring load. He did not do that.
But you also...
I know he's a defensive player, but he was also supposed to... When you go back and you look at tape on how they talk about Andrew Robinson, right? They say that he did not do what he needed to do on that team. He was a liability on that team.
I'm telling you right now, you're talking about the wrong guy. But if you also want to listen, to the media also said Russell Westbrook was the problem because he wanted to take as many shots as Kevin Durant.
Oh no, 100%. That's
but you're saying he's not the problem. He was the problem.
I don't think he was the problem.
But you just quoted the media when it comes to Andrew.
Thank you, Mr. NBA. Thank you, because I know what the talk around that guy was. I remember it so very clearly what the talk around him was in OKC. He was supposed to be the guy to come in and take some of that score load. That's why KD said, I'm tired of being the only shooter here. I'm tired of being the one that would, besides Russell Westbrook, because he wasn't talking about Russ, I'm tired of being the one that has to does everything and get all the points.
But why do you just disregard the fact that he was talking about Russ? Russ was part of the problem. Russ couldn't shoot.
So if Russ was part of the problem, Clutch, KD was part of the problem.
How was KD part of the problem?
KD came up small in a lot of big moments, and in the series against Golden State and the finals. Honestly, when they played Miami, that's part of the reason why they lost. They won that because they won. They capped up one game.
Now you're wilding. KD averaged like 30, 37, and KD was not the problem in the finals. He was not the problem in the finals.
KD didn't come up small in big moments in the finals.
No.
Oh, you're
James
tripping.
Harden didn't even show up.
You're tripping, bro. Against the Heat.
He show up in the finals, but I want him as my second option with KD alone.
And what did Russell Westbrook do
against the Heat?
You act like Russell Westbrook is a solution. If you ask me personally,
like Russell is
I'm not saying that, but there was multiple problems within that roster, and it was not 100%.
And it was not just Russ. And you're talking this whole time, Clutch.
Oh my God,
Clutch. You only mentioned one person on that roster, and that was Russell Westbrook as being the problem. When they have a 12-man lineup, KD, yes, part of it. All 12 of them was part of the problem. All 12 of them, Clutch. Not just Westbrook.
Let me ask you this. James Harden's there. Russell Westbrook's gone. KD staying or leaving?
Leaving?
No, he's not. He's not leaving if James Harden's still there. He's not leaving. No, he's not. No, he's not. Part of the reason why he left is because of Russell Westbrook.
Yes, he is, because the same thing is going to happen. They're going to keep getting close and keep losing, keep getting close and keep losing, and he's going to leave.
No. Part of the reason why he left is because of Russell Westbrook.
So why? So if that's the case, why did KD leave Steph Curry, Klay Thompson then? I don't understand it.
Because he did what he had to do and he got the hell out of there.
Okay. And that's what I guess KD would have did in OKC. He would have did what he needed to do and got the hell out of there.
So Andrew Robinson was looked to be the guy, a career 4.5 point per game scorer.
Right. How many games did he play? How many games did he play?
He was looked at to be the guy.
How many games did he play? How many games
in his career? 307. In his career, 307.
Right. And how many games in the season? What was his highest games played in the season?
79.
Right. That was. And what year was that? Second?
No.
Second or third?
17, 18.
What year was that? Him playing in the league?
4.
Fourth year, and what was his? I could look at this stuff myself. But
point
what
per
I'm saying
game?
to you, he was looked at to be that guy. He just didn't pan out. That's what I said to you, Clutch.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, what was he in college? How could you just say he was looked at to be? What was he in college?
When a team, Clutch, I don't know if you understand this aspect, but when a team drafts you, right, you're looked to come in and play a role. I'm not saying he's looked to be the guy to take over for KD. That's not what I said. You're taking to be the guy that me saying to be the guy as he's going to be the guy on the team. That's not what I'm saying, Clutch. I'm saying that he was supposed to come in and take some of that scoring load off of Westbrook and KD. He did not. That's what I'm saying. That was the talk around. That was the talk. I understand my words can confuse you guys sometimes. I get it. But that was the talk around him. Robinson was supposed to come in and take some of that scoring load, right? Because James was gone. The scoring load wasn't coming from James no more. So they need to find somebody that could take some of the scoring load off their 2 stars. He was drafted to do that. He didn't pan out. He didn't do it. So he's a part of the problem too. Ibaka, what did Ibaka do? He can have a great season, but when it comes down to the moments that matter, what happened? He's a part of the problem. Steven Adams, what did he do to win a championship? Guess what? He's a part of the problem. Brooks Scott, Scott Brooks, whatever his name is, the coach. Guess what? He's also a part of the problem.
So Deion Waiters wasn't brought in to bringing that scoring.
Oh, 100%. But I'm not saying you can't. You just got to bring one guy. I'm talking about just specifically what Robinson turned out to be on OKC when they drafted him to be something that he didn't turn out to be that.
I just never remember anybody ever thinking hire that guy.
I used to watch ESPN a lot back then.
I watch ESPN a lot too. And
we was watching different shows then.
I never heard of that guy to be that guy.
I have no idea who Boo out.
I never heard of that guy to be that guy.
Tell me, you hear him right? Never to be that guy. Because I said that guy, he's taking it as I'm talking about he's supposed to be LeBron James. You guys need to stop taking definitions and that guy, or he's supposed to be some superstar. I'm not saying that. I said, and I'll say it for the last time, Clutch. He was supposed to come in and be that guy that took the scoring load off of Westbrook and KD. Some of the scoring load off of him, right? That's what I mean by that guy. So you can keep saying that guy, that guy, that guy. It doesn't matter because you're not listening to my definition of why I'm saying that guy. He was supposed to be that guy to come in and help with the scoring load.
You know what's the craziest thing about this whole thing? Everything you just accused me of is literally what you're doing. Because you've never once asked me of my definition of what do I mean by that guy. How? But you're assuming. You're assuming. You're literally assuming.
Mulich, was my assumption not right? The assumption I just made.
How? Because I never gave you my definition.
The way he's taking that guy from what he has said, Mulich, is my assumption wrong?
No, but I wanted to talk about something real quick.
Okay.
I want to talk about something real quick because considering that you said that Russell Westbrook was the problem in that OKC or on that OKC team, looking at the finals when they played the Heat, everybody on that team only had one good game, and that was game one. Every other game after that, literally every other game after that, plus and minus was horrible, turnovers were horrible, and this is throughout the whole team. So I'm just saying you can't just blame Russ when Harden didn't look good, KD didn't look good.
I literally said Harden
absolutely shitty. His turnovers were absolutely shitty.
Yo, KD averaged 36-2. Are we really doing this right now? 36-2. And you
at the end of the day, I feel like
let me remind you.
You can average 40 and still get your ass.
You said he had a bad finals. You literally said he had a bad finals.
Yeah, because you average a lot of points, that does not mean you have a good finals.
Yo, 30. Okay, all right. On 54% field goal percentage, he shot 39 from downtown. He shot 83 from the free throw line, and he had a bad finals. Now,
he damn near averaged 6. He damn near averaged 7 turnovers a game.
Hold on.
How many games did they lose in that year?
It's 4-1. It was 4-1.
Okay.
And since you want
horrible finals.
Hold on, since you want to
thank you. What?
Hold on, say that again.
They won one game. They won one game. The team had a horrible finals. I don't understand how is that not comprehended. It doesn't matter your stats.
Oh my God! Nobody is saying
talking
the
about
team
a team
didn't have a bad finals. He said Kevin Durant had a bad finals. That's
Kevin
what
because
Durant
you try to put everything on Russ and try to put everything on. I'm saying Kevin Durant did not have a good finals either.
Did Russ have a good finals? Did Russ have a good finals?
No. Did James Harden?
Did James Harden have a good finals? Did Kevin Durant have a good finals? At the end of the day, nobody on that team had a good finals, which is the reason why they lost.
Between the three, who had the best finals?
You said what?
Between the three, who had the best finals?
I would honestly say Russ.
How?
I would honestly say Russ, just because, for the simple fact that KD averaged more. KD had more turnovers that whole finals. KD was trying to do way too much in that game when he didn't have to. Which is the reason why he had as many turnovers, and is reason why his plus minus was absolutely shitty.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. You got Russell Westbrook, who shot 16 more shots than Kevin Durant. You got Russell Westbrook, who shot a whopping 13% from the three-point line. You got Russell Westbrook, who shot 43% for the field, while Kevin Durant shot 54% from the field. And and Russell Westbrook had less points than Kevin Durant and shot 16 more shots. But somehow Russell Westbrook had a better finals.
Okay, look.
And somehow Russell Westbrook had the better finals.
Listen,
I'm going to break that down real quick.
What?
Because
they won 105-94. After that, 100-96 they lost. 91-85 they lost. 104-98 they lost. 121-106 they lost. That's all that matters.
Look at just peep this. Just peep this. Because first game, right? Kevin Durant drops 36. He has a plus minus of 15. And they win. Right?
On a 4-game
Russ has 27 with a plus minus of 14. Right? They both have 2 turnovers in game 1. They win. The next game, literally the next game.
First of all, plus and minus is a bad stat to take because there's a lot goes into plus and minus.
Exactly, because you have to do a lot. Which means KD was doing the fucking most, and it caused them to win the game.
But you're literally the one giving the plus and minus. Nobody, your plus and minus, it could be Kevin Durant on the court with Serge Ibaka and
Andrew
and Russell Westbrook out there with Kevin Durant and James Harden. Plus and minus don't mean shit. It's a bad stat to take, bro.
Okay.
It's bad. They both. I've never said they all had good finals. What I'm saying is, out of the three, Kevin Durant clearly had the best finals
because he scored the most points.
You, Clutch, to you.
So who do you say had the best finals?
The Heat.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So in other words, you're saying Kevin Durant just don't want to admit it.
I'm saying the whole OKC team played bad and they lost in 5. They got one game off.
But you're not.
That's all that matters to me.
But you're not answering the question.
All that matters to me.
But this whole topic is coming up.
Who had the
hold
better
on.
finals.
Hear me out.
Who had the better finals?
But
Clutch,
hear me out.
I answered your question. I said the Heat.
Actually, you didn't answer my question
because
it was about OKC.
You didn't say
it was about
names.
OKC.
I said the Heat.
All right, who had the better finals out of OKC then? On the Oklahoma City Thunder, I will be so precise. Who had the best finals?
In the finals, who had the better finals?
Yes.
The mascot.
See, now you're just being ridiculous. It was Kevin Durant. Why are you taking Russ and he shot a whopping 13% from the three?
Because that's all you're looking at is his percentage. You're not looking at everything that he actually did.
You do realize I brought down his percentage. I brought down his shots taken. Only thing you gave me was plus and minus, and Kevin Durant had bad turnovers. That was it.
Exactly, bad turnovers.
So what is turnovers? What is turnovers? Bad turnovers.
In the game.
Come on, bad turnovers gives the other team extra possession. Stop it.
And everybody talks about how Russ is a turnover machine and how he always turns over and how he always turns over the rock.
Bad turnovers do what?
I said turnovers give the other team more possessions. Stop it.
Doesn't a bad shot do the same exact thing?
You can rebound a bad shot.
I'm done.
You can't?
I'm done.
You can't?
I'm done.
Can you not? Can you not rebound a bad shot?
And if we're talking about bad shots, KD took a lot of bad shots in that finals.
And he still had a better percentage than Russ. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. None of that matters. If you take the bad shots, you take a bad shot.
Why it doesn't matter? Why it doesn't matter?
Just put me in a situation where
if you take a bad shot, you take a bad shot.
I want to get KD.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter what his percentage was at the end of the game. It doesn't matter how many points he scored at the end of the game. No, it doesn't, because he can shoot 50% from the field and drop 50 points, and they still get their ass beat in the game because he took bad shots. That does not matter.
And you know what's crazy? The only game they won, who's the better player? Kevin fucking Durant. He has 36. Fuck, I'm done. Yo, even in that game,
his best plus minus game. You mean? Thank you. Oh, okay, thank you. His best game was plus minus when he was the most efficient. Oh, okay, that's right.
Hold on. What was that word? It starts with an E. What was that word?
When he was the most efficient in game one.
Give me one game Russell Westbrook was efficient. I'll hold my breath. I'll wait. Give me one. Just one.
Game 3?
Game 3 was efficient?
Or game 4?
Game 3.
You said game 1, KD scored what?
37.
And Russ was right behind him with 27.
So you're saying Russell Westbrook was efficient on the 8 for 18?
77% from the field. 0 from
so
3,
Russell Westbrook was efficient 8 for 18. That's what you told me. Game 3, 8 for 18 is efficient.
Game 4, actually. That's game 4.
You said game 3 and 4. You said game 3 and 4. Okay, I'll give you game 3. He had one good game, and how did that turn out?
I'm not giving you game 3 because game 3 shot 8 for 18. Game 4, 20 for 32.
And game 5, a whopping 4 for 20. Are you serious right now? He had one good game the whole finals. One good game.
One good? You're tripping. He had at least 3 good games.
You're on drugs if you think he had 3 good games.
NBA asked you a question in the chat, Clutch.
At least 3 good games.
No, he didn't.
You can't see the chat?
At least 3 good games.
What did he say?
It's on the screen.
Hold on.
Game 1, he dropped 27. That's not a good game.
No, Kevin Durant had a better game. And he wasn't efficient.
Do they win if Russ doesn't add his?
KD game 3 shot 25% from the 3-pointer.
Do they win if Russ doesn't add his 27? In game 1, do they win if Russ doesn't add his 27? If Russ has 15, does OKC win that game?
Hold on, and then you scream this plus or minus. Both their plus or minuses was trash. What are you talking about?
He said that. That's why you gotta listen, Clutch. He said that. He said all of them.
Was absolutely fucking horrible, especially after game 1. So you can't sit there and put it on one player when everybody as a team, including Kevin Durant, does not matter how much points he scored, was fucking ass because they lost. Right or wrong?
But I've also stated this: plus or minus is a stupid stat because it doesn't tell you the whole story. And you keep trying to tell me Russell Westbrook had a better finals than Kevin Durant. That is the argument. You keep changing up the argument. The argument is who had the better finals.
Not once. I have not changed the argument. Not once.
You changed it at least 3 times.
No, I have not. I stuck. My point has been the same. Kevin Durant was not as good in the finals as you think because he scored a lot of points.
Troy, you heard
minus and turnovers matter.
Hold on. Did he or did he not say Russell Westbrook had a good game 3 and 4? Did he or did he not say that?
He said game 3 and then he changed it to game 4.
Thank you. I said game 3 and I changed it to game 4.
But how many bad games did Russell Westbrook have? At least 3 or 4.
At least 3 or 4. The series was 5 games.
Okay, so
and he had 3 good games. He had 1 game in which he only scored 19 points.
He did not have 3 good games. He did not have 3 good games. No, he did not.
So him dropping 27.
No, he did not.
Him dropping 43 in game 4.
No, he did not. He did not have 3 good games. What's the 3 good games? What's the 3 good games? Because the
game 1 he dropped 27.
Hold on, the 27,
27-11. Hold on. Let me find it. All right.
Game 1 and game 3. That's
11 and 8.
Game 2 he dropped
7 and 8. 19-5 and 5. 19-4 and 5. And then 43, 5 and 7, and then 19-6 and 4.
Yeah, you know what I like
3
about
good games.
Hold on. You know what I like
How's
about
that not
you?
3?
Hold on. You know what I like about you? You bring up the 27, but when I talk about Kevin Durant, you bring up his efficiency and you just gloss by.
I brought up the 27 because you brought up Kevin Durant's points per game.
But you just glossed by 10 for 26. We're just gonna gloss right by that, right? We're not gonna talk about the 10
I brought up Russ's 27. I brought up Russ's 27 because you brought up KD's 36, 30
hold
points,
on,
30 points
hold
per
on.
game.
That 27-point game, who had a better plus minus?
KD had the only game.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. He had a good game 1. Like I said, they all had a good game 1.
Okay.
Plus minus wise.
But
and
Russell Westbrook
going forward, they were all horrible.
Russell Westbrook wasn't efficient in any except for that one game he was efficient. Every other game he played like trash.
Neither was KD.
So in the finals, he was 19.
Hold on. He just said Kevin Durant wasn't official.
19-6.
He was efficient in 1 game.
No, he's at 54% from the field for the series. Like, what kind of trust are we giving out, bro? You're good at
math. Not holding stats to that. What's a good game? What's the benchmark? Yeah, I mean, he talking to you in the chat. I mean, he's trying to figure it out. What's the
Explain to me how is Kevin Durant not efficient on 54% from the field for the whole series? Explain to me that. Like, I'm curious.
Just because you shoot 54% from the field, that does not mean you're taking good shots all the fucking time.
So what the hell is efficiency then?
So what if I'm getting to the rack? If I took 30 shots and I took 25 at the rack.
But he literally said efficiency. That was his statement. He said nothing about the shots. He said efficient.
I'm saying something about the shots. I'm not talking about what he's saying.
But I'm trying to get him to admit that Kevin Durant was efficient.
No, I would agree with you, Clutch. You're not far off. But the only thing I don't like in your argument is saying that Westbrook is the reason. Westbrook is the reason. No, all 12 of those guys.
No. See, this is what I'm saying. You're not listening. My whole argument is Kevin Durant had a better finals than Russell
Yes,
Westbrook.
and I'm saying with you, that's fine. You can say that. But the whole conversation, right? The whole conversation that we just had for the last 30 minutes, right? Was because you said that Westbrook was the reason.
That he left.
No, not that he left. We didn't talk about KD. We was just talking about why they lost the finals and why they never made it back. And James Harden being a replacement for him and being a better fit with him. You're saying Westbrook. What I'm saying to you, and my only point is, it's not just Westbrook. It wasn't just KD. It wasn't Ibaka. It was all 12 of those motherfuckers on the team. Anybody that got starting time in that finals that did not do what they needed to, I don't care if KD did what he was supposed to do. It still falls on him. Part of it still falls on him. You want to know why? Because it's a team sport. No one guy gets exempt because they had a good game. I'm not saying he needed to do more to win. You could be right that his teammates needed to step up, but maybe if he approached the game in a different way, maybe they would have got a game, or 2 games, or 3. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes, so I'm not saying that I know the difference. I'm not saying, hey, maybe he can win it if he just makes some adjustments in his game. So you can say the same for Russell Westbrook, but I can say the same for everybody on that roster. If those guys stepped up and did just like the Bucks this year, if those role players stepped up on the Bucks, Boston don't make it to a finals. The Bucks probably make it back.
But they're role players,
like, right? But you can't just say but they're role players. They have
why not?
Part. Because without your role players, what are you?
You're a team.
No, you're
but
not.
Your role players.
You don't have no role players. Now you're a team with no role players. You have a 5-man starting lineup with no role players. You just said they're role players. No, you don't like. What are you talking about? You need good role players to win championships.
But you're sitting here and you're asking role players to step up.
Right, because they're asked to do a job. Hold on, let me break it down for you. When I say step up, I don't mean score 37 points. All right. When I say step up, it means step up in the role that they're supposed to be in. That means, let's take Robinson for a reason. If I'm supposed to be a defensive guy, that means I need to step up on defense and start locking down and getting us extra possession, get some steals, get some contested shots, making it hard for these guys to shoot the ball over. That's what I'm saying. I could say the Bucks needed to step up. Bobby Porter should have hit his shots. Brook Lopez should have hit his shot, stepped up. Grayson Allen should have stepped up and did what he needed to do. That's what I mean by step up. Those role players are there for a reason, especially when you get to the finals clutch, especially when you get to the finals. I don't shorten my rotation from 15 to 9 for no reason.
I 100% understand what you're saying, but to ask them to step up in a consistent basis will change their role. If you ask a role player to step up in a consistent basis, they're no longer being a role player. They're being a star. They're role players for a reason. They're role players because they can do what they do on an inconsistent basis.
What? If a role player is consistent, he is a star. That's the first time I ever heard that.
You're asking them to step up. You literally just stated you need them to do more.
No, I did not. I broke it down. You did. What the hell did I just say?
You literally just said Robinson.
I said, let me break it down for you again.
Hold on. You said Robinson, step up. Maybe play a little bit more defense.
No,
maybe
I said, no, I did not play a little bit. No, I did not. I said, you have to listen, Clutch. You're going off screen, not listening, doing all this, and you're not listening. What I said was, right. And just because you have headphones on, don't mean you're listening. What I said was, right? What I said was, when I said step up, and I said, Clutch, let me break it down for you before you take it somewhere else. I said, when you want your role players to step up in the finals, that means you want them to do their job. I'm not asking them. There you go again, putting you in. You're not listening. I'm not asking them to do more. And I never once said I want them to do more. I said, Andrew Robertson, if he's my defensive guy, I need him to step up, lock down, get contested shots, get some steals, get extra possessions. Is that not what I said, Mulich?
How is that stepping up? How is that stepping up? That's doing the job.
Stepping up into right. When they don't do their job, when they don't do their job, what do you want them to do? Step up and do their job, right?
But they did their job.
Okay.
So you're trying to tell me Bobby Portis didn't do his job with Milwaukee?
No, Why not?
Why not? How did he do his job? How did he do his job?
Neither did Brook Lopez. None of them did their job, because if they did their job, they would have finished us in 6. What are you talking about?
Because they didn't have Chris Middleton. What are you talking about?
So why a team with Chris Middleton? Why is a team with no Chris Middleton could get to Game 7 with a team that's basically almost fully healthy? Because we didn't have Robin Lopez that season. I could swear Marcus Smart missed the game in that season, got injured in that season. I could swear Jason Tatum hurt his arm in that series. Like I can't be bugging here. I can't stand when we pick and choose what we want to pick and choose to fit our narratives. We can't do that, bro. We cannot do that.
So you're trying to tell me
if Grayson Allen stepped up into his role, Clutch, and did what he was supposed to do, and Bobby Portis did what what was the percentage that the Bucks shot? 13% in that series from 3, and they did their job, Clutch? 13% on the series, and they did their job?
If Grant Williams doesn't have the game of his life, you probably lose.
Mulich, you tell me, am I not hearing excuses?
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Game 7, if Grant Williams doesn't play on a level above his role, do you win that game?
We might not win that game, but guess what?
Now it's we might not. You know you don't win that game. You know you don't win that game. It took a role player playing above his role for you to win that series.
Right, and it would have took somebody on the Bucks to do the same to beat us in Game 7. That's what you're not understanding.
So you're asking a role player.
Is he really a role player though?
Yes, he is.
Is he really a role player though?
Yes, he is.
I don't even care if Clutch, if you're saying I'm asking a role player to play above his level, but you're not going to sit here and say he's a star because I asked him to be consistent. That's what you want your role players to be. You don't sign a role player on your team, Clutch. You do not sign a role player on your team for him to be inconsistent.
I don't feel like Williams is a role player. I think injuries derailed him. I think he's more of their.
He's talking about Grant Williams. I'm talking
about Grant Williams.
If you're talking about Grant Williams, then he's their quote unquote role player on that team.
No, 100% he's a role player, and yes, I agree with you 100%, Clutch. He stepped up. He stepped up over his game. But what I'm saying about the Bucks is the Bucks missed so many. Bobby Portis missed so many open shots. Drew Holiday, so many open shots. Grayson Allen, so many. If they step up and do what they're supposed to do, the Bucks don't lose that series. Is what I'm saying to you. So how you can say, Grant Williams had to have that big game. We're saying the same thing in that aspect. That if the Bucks role players do what they're supposed to do, step up and do what the fuck they're supposed to do, the Bucks win that series.
But my problem with what you said was if they don't step up.
Because they didn't.
But you said on a consistent basis.
I didn't say consistent. You said consistent.
Say on a consistent.
No, you said
the Bucks players.
Mulich, who said consistent? Who said consistent? Me or him?
Let's say Clutch said consistent. But if we're talking about the role that Grayson Allen was supposed to quote unquote fulfill, right? In the regular season, he fulfilled that role. And when Middleton was out. In the playoffs, he didn't. So if you're talking about him actually fulfilling his role as a role player, quote unquote, he didn't fulfill his role as a role player in the playoffs, which is what Troy is basically trying to say.
Thank you,
but Boston role players also played above their role. And the Bucks was also missing.
I can't say that. I can honestly say that the Bucks.
We just agreed Grant Williams had the game of his life in Game 7, and that was the deciding game.
How do we not know that wasn't his role though?
It was his role to score 27.
You want to know why? No, it wasn't his role to score 27, Clutch, but it was his role to take the open shots that the team was giving him because they were leaving him wide open.
Exactly. That was his role.
Stop doing this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when Al Horford went up. He was taking what they was giving him. That's the
literally
role.
He's playing his role.
Okay.
He's taking what they're giving him and he's converting. That's literally all that is. He's not having a superstar effort where he's handling the ball, taking it.
Bro, what did he shoot in Game 7? What did he shoot in Game 7? He shot like 70% from downtown. That's not
that doesn't matter.
Why?
That means you're a superstar now.
Open shots.
That means you're a superstar now.
So
capitalizing on opportunities means
nobody misses wide open shots. Nobody misses wide open shots.
Clutch.
They
all do.
That's cap.
That's what Bobby Portis was doing. That's what Grayson Allen was doing. That's why they lost, because they was missing open shots. That's what Brook Lopez was doing. That's why I said those guys needed to step up. Because guess who did step up?
2018 Houston Rockets.
Our guys.
So you're also going to act like the Milwaukee game plan wasn't to let Grant Williams shoot those shots. That wasn't the game plan.
No, that's what.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Yo, we're saying the same.
Why was it the game plan? Because he was missing the shots all series.
Right.
And when
we're talking about him playing, when we're talking about him stepping up. Right. Now, Clutch, listen to what you just said. He was missing them. So the game plan to leave him open, right? That is a player stepping up in his role and doing what he needs to do. Oh, leave me open because I missed before? I'm going to make you pay for it. No.
He played over his role.
Took what the defense gave him. The offense took what the defense gave him. The offense took what the defense gave him. Yeah, nobody expected him to make those shots. Nobody did. You're right about that, Clutch. But you can't then sit here and nullify him making those shots as, oh, no, he's not supposed to do that. He did it because they left him open. He had the confidence to go into that game. It's like, look, I'm going to get a lot of shots. So I need to make sure I hit my shots. That's him playing his role. Let me ask you something. If Grayson Allen did the same thing, that he did in Game 7, shot 7 for 7 from 3, what would you be saying now? We didn't expect Grayson Allen to do that?
Yes, because we didn't.
Okay.
How? When Grayson Allen is a shooter?
I guess not. But if it came from Chris Middleton, it's, oh, no, we expect Chris Middleton to do that.
But Grayson Allen can do that though.
Role player.
If he did it in the regular season, Grayson Allen can do it in the playoffs. Like
he surely did it in the regular season. I was sitting here singing him praise in the regular season. I told people Grayson Allen was going to be the piece that they needed. If Chris Middleton went down, Grayson Allen could step into the role, and he did. Got to the playoffs and he folded. That's y'all word, folded.
It's just like a backup quarterback. There's a specific game plan.
He didn't play to it. He did not play
to it. It's just like a backup quarterback. There's a specific game plan. If a coach has a specific game plan for a backup quarterback, and he goes out there and has a Herculean effort,
I'm not saying
that ain't got shit to do with. That ain't got shit to do with him. That has everything to do with the game plan, and because the other team didn't respect him enough to actually treat him as an up-par player. They played down to his level. So if you play down to somebody's level, if you leave them open all the fucking time and they capitalize on the opportunities, that does not mean that they had a Herculean effort. No, they just capitalized on the opportunity that was given. It's not like he was taking contested shots I'm not even
gonna lie to you right now. You just moonwalked on your own shit because your original statement was if it's the game plan and he goes out there and do it, he had a Herculean effort. And
no, I said it's not like he had a Herculean effort.
No, the first time you said he had a Herculean effort, that's literally what you said.
No, I said it's not like he had a Herculean effort. That's the game plan.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm loving the 1-2 punch you two guys are having right now. Like you guys are feeding each other. I love it. I love it.
When I go to edit some TikToks, bro, it's gonna be crazy because you're sitting over there saying we said stuff that we just didn't say. And he literally said he had a Herculean effort and then backtracked at the end and said, "No, I do remember him saying that if it was the game plan. I remember that part, but I never heard him say a Herculean effort. I didn't even hear you say a Herculean effort until right now.
What I said was, if somebody out there is a role player and they're literally getting left open and they have this Herculean effort. That's not them being a superstar. That's them capitalizing on opportunities. That's literally what I said.
Because you said they're a superstar. That's exactly what he said. Because you called them a superstar.
No.
Just like a backup quarterback. If they have a specific game plan for a backup quarterback, and he goes out there and has a Herculean effort, that's not him having a Herculean effort. That's him following the game plan.
Hold on, because you guys keep missing a very crucial word. I said if he does it on a consistent basis. That's what I said. On a consistent basis.
So like when a 6-man does it on a consistent basis, it makes him a star.
I would consider most 6-men stars. Yes, I would. I would consider like Jamal Crawford. I would consider him a star, not a superstar, but I would consider him a star. I would consider J.R. Smith in his prime a star. I would consider Jordan Clarkson, whatever his name is. I would consider him a star. He's somebody.
117-24.
I feel like you can't. It's the first you can't be a star unless you can take your at least carry your team to over 500 wins or over 500 records.
That's got to be the first TikTok I work on, Coach.
I disagree with that.
I've never heard nothing like that in my life. A 6-man as a star. Because what you don't even realize, and I didn't point it out when you first said it. I'm like, dude just skipped All-Star and went straight to star. Like, we live in this age where we have 25 superstars in the league, 50 stars, 100 all-stars. That's not how it works. Not everybody that plays well, that plays good is a star or a superstar.
So
we have something called all-stars, right?
So you wouldn't consider a star to be an all-star caliber type player?
No, star is above an all-star type caliber player.
So what's the difference between a star and an all-star caliber player?
All-star player means you're a good player. A star means that you can at least carry your team to over 500 wins. Superstar is somebody that can, as a first option, somebody that can carry their team to second round, maybe championship.
So J.R. Smith was never a second option.
J.R. Smith was never a star. And I don't even know if you can call J.R. Smith an all-star.
So he was never a second option.
Where? On what team? The Nuggets?
No, the Knicks.
The Nets?
The Knicks. He was the second best player on the Knicks. Yes.
He was the second option on the Knicks.
Yes, he was.
Not Tyson Chandler, Amari Stoudemire.
I'm talking offensive. Amari. No, he was second. I'm talking about after Amari left because Amari was always injured. He was the second best player on the Knicks. When they had Melo, he was the second best player on the Knicks.
This is
Is JR carrying a team to the playoffs?
No, but JR is somebody who could be an all-star. That year he won 6 Man of the Year. People were talking about him being on the all-star.
He can be an all-star for sure.
I'm not mad at that. But you saying star, Clutch.
A star?
Those are two different things. Do you know what the show me on your hands like this? What is the gap between all-star to star?
I'm putting all-star and all-star caliber player in the same thing. That's the difference. But see, this is what I'm talking about. When you have a conversation, you don't ask me my definition. You just ran with your definition and you ran to the bank with it.
Because if you misunderstand me,
if you misunderstand me,
Clutch, you have not once took your own advice and asked me what my definition of anything was. Every definition I gave you on my own volition. Hold on, Clutch. You're the one that's not giving your definition. You want me to ask you what your definition is.
Did you ask?
You never asked me what my definition is.
Hold on. So you are not the guy who said 117. You didn't just do that when I said a start. That's what you did. You didn't ask me
117.
You never asked me that definition of what do I mean when
I don't need to ask you. 117. That's a TikTok. That's where it's going. 117. That I wrote it down so I know where to look.
Yeah, that was a timestamp.
Because you was explaining.
That was a timestamp, right?
Right, but you were explaining.
But you never asked.
Clutch. In that timestamp, I don't need to ask you because you were explaining it. You were explaining what your definition was and the people that fit in your definition.
I never explained it. I never explained it. I never explained anything. He explained it.
How did you name J.R. Smith? How did you name Joe Crawford? Who the people? How did you get there? How did you get to naming those people? Because you were explaining. Because you were explaining what an all-star and a star was. Yes,
no. Because the question you asked me. The question you asked me was, do I think a 6-man is a star? That's what the question you asked me.
No. When you started breaking down, right, Mulich, correct me when I'm wrong. You started breaking down what an all-star and star is, right? And you said not even an all-star. Hold on. Just listen.
You're wrong.
Just listen, Clutch. You started breaking down what a star was. What a star was.
No, you're wrong. Yes, you're wrong.
Oh my God. I can't wait. See, and I love it when people say I'm wrong because what you guys don't understand is every video, I have it. I have every receipt of everything that's ever said. And every time somebody tells me I'm wrong and I go back and watch the tape, I'm right. I'm right.
Let me ask you this.
Because you started saying what a star was. That means you're telling us what your definition. You said J.R. Smith, meaning your definition of a star would be somebody that plays like J.R. Smith, somebody that plays like Jamal Crawford.
No. You literally asked me.
Thank you, Mr. NBA in the Clutch. J.R. Smith.
But you can see how that gets misconstrued, though. You can see how that gets misconstrued when people ask or when you start to describe your definition of a quote unquote star, or if you're trying to tie all stars in the same name as a star.
He literally asked me a question. He said, "Do I think a 6-man can be a star?" I said,
"Is a 6-man a star?" I didn't say, "Do you think is a 6-man a star?" You said yes.
Yes.
And I said no. And then I told you you're skipping all-star. And then you was like, oh, but J.R. Smith wasn't a star and this person wasn't a star. That's you breaking down your definition. By you saying J.R. Smith, it will give whoever you're in a conversation with the idea of your definition of what a star is. That's what you're doing.
Because we said that a star would have to be at least the second option. And you said that J.R. Smith was the second option in New York.
I did. He was.
No, we disagree there. That's all I'm gonna say. We disagree. I don't. JR is not nowhere, shape, form, of anywhere. And you put him in the G League, and he's probably a star there. But he was not a star in the NBA. I'm sorry.
He was the second option on that New York team.
He was a very. But was he a second option because of his game or by default?
By default.
Right. So that does not make him a star.
He was a star for that team.
So if he was a star for the Knicks, where does that star rank up against the stars of the league?
Very low. That's why they didn't get out the
That's
first
why
round.
He's not a star. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a star on a team. I'm talking about collectively there are a group of guys that are superstars. There are a group of guys that are stars, and there are a group of guys that are all-stars.
I understand what you're talking about, but I also just stated he was a star for that team. That's literally what I just said.
And now I'm addressing you saying that he was a star for that team.
But you're explaining your definition, and I already understand it. I would never say what.
Go ahead. No, finish what you're saying.
I wouldn't say JR is a star in the sense of is he a star as in the aspect of the NBA, but he also said, "Do you think JR could be an all-star caliber player?" I said yes. I think that year
And
JR.
that's fine. That's
but
fine.
that's what I said.
I'm not mad at you, but you said he was a star. Do you think he can be an all-star caliber player? And he's a star is two different things.
Yes.
Two different things, Coach. Because there's a gap between being an all-star and being a star. Just like there's a gap from being a star and being a superstar. There's gaps between these things.
But there's also a season where you can hit the next level and then not get knocked right back down. That can happen.
That's fine, but that would not make, in my opinion, it would not make you a star. A star and superstar is all about consistency. All about consistency. All about, you even said it. If a role player is being consistent, he's a star in your eyes, right? That means the consistency part will make him, right? Yes. JR wasn't always consistent.
He was that season. That's the only thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about that one season with the Knicks.
I don't go off for one season. I don't go over one season.
But what I'm saying is that season, JR reached a level he never reached again in his career.
Jeremy Lin reached the level in
14 games.
In 14 games.
It was not 14 games. It was like
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
For a month.
It was the 14 games. The 14 games.
Like 14 games, I think. It was something 10 games, 14 games, something
I think it was
like
number. 7 games.
It was like 10 games. It was double-digit games.
Like a solid month, like 3 weeks.
It was double-digit games. It wasn't a month. It literally was like 14 games. Because I remember talking about this with GK. We got into a big argument about it. I think it was 14 games because GK thinks that Jeremy Lin is a superstar. And clearly, what you're saying, you probably think he's one too.
Absolutely.
No. See, now there you go, assuming again.
Absolutely not.
Now you can ask me the question, and I'm willing to answer.
Is not a superstar. I don't care about that. I will never.
He's a star, you know.
Was Jeremy Lin not a star in the NBA for those 2 weeks? Yes or no?
No.
You're wilding now. Now you're wilding.
He was a role player that got hot.
No.
He was a role player that got hot.
He got a documentary. In that documentary, it documented him getting cut from team after team after team after team after team. But that's a star. Okay, yeah, that's a star for 2 weeks. 2 weeks this guy went off. 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks he went off. And that's a star in the NBA. Okay, guess what? Anybody that goes off for the span of Jeremy Lin is a star in the NBA. And guess what? By the third week, you can go right back down to being nothing. But guess what? You touch the star.
But this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. If you're going to tell the story, then tell the whole story. Jeremy Lin was what Jeremy Lin was, not because what he did in 2 weeks. He was Jeremy Lin. He was Lin Sanity because he did it in New York City. He was only as big as he was because he did it in New York City. He do what he do in Toronto, nobody cares. He do what he do in Boston, nobody cares.
Why was Vince Sanity around? Did he do that in New York?
What the fuck does Vince Sanity have to do with Lin Sanity?
Why was Vince? You said he got it. I'm saying now compare. Why was another Sanity a Sanity when he didn't do it in a big market?
Because he did it consistently. I'm so
right.
confused.
Thank you. So if Jeremy Lin did it anywhere else and did it consistently like he did, they still would have been calling him Lin Sanity. How many times does a guy go off in the NBA and people give him a nickname? They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
For 2 weeks?
Yes, they do it all the time.
Give me one. Give me one other than Jeremy Lin. I'll wait.
They do it all the time.
I need one, so then you should have one on the top of your head.
Why was Terry Rozier calling Drew Bledsoe Eric Bledsoe?
Because it sounds the same. What do you mean?
Why after that, right? Because Rozier went off in those playoffs, right?
I was gonna say I give you one.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Why was he looked at? Why was Scary Terry brought up, right? Why was it brought up from one series? But they never done it before. Give you an example.
It wasn't one series.
Terry came alive and got traded
nowhere to be found.
It wasn't. But it wasn't one series. It was because what he did that whole season in Boston.
No, Scary Terry was born from the Bucks series.
No, it was from the whole season.
Nah, it was from that Bucks. It was from that Bucks series.
I don't believe that.
He was going crazy that Bucks series,
but
which is the reason why they started calling him Scary Terry.
When Terry Rozier became Terry Rozier was that Bucks series.
Hold on.
Like that.
Hold on. So
he was not like that. You're talking to a Boston fan here, bro.
So you're comparing the playoffs to a 2 weeks in the regular season.
No, you said give me another time that somebody
but you
got
went
a
to the
nickname like
playoffs.
Insanity And I'm telling you a time where a guy did something for a week span, right? Because the playoffs, 7 games, it probably equal out to week to week. That he did something in the span of 2 weeks and got a crazy name.
So you're trying to tell me that whole season in Boston, because Scary Terry is a very easy name to come with. Nobody in the media called him Scary Terry that whole season.
I didn't hear it until the Bucks series.
In the playoffs, yep.
No, I'm talking about that whole season. They never called him Scary Terry.
In the Bucks series.
That was the first time you've ever heard that name.
Because who was the point guard of that team, Clutch?
That one? I don't remember. I'm not a Boston fan.
Was it not?
I don't think it was Kyrie.
Irving?
I think he was injured.
Was it not? Yeah. So why would they have called him Scary Terry?
Because Kyrie missed most of that season. You said it happened only in the playoffs.
Oh
That's
my God, his name Scary. Oh my God, I wish I had a fucking projector behind me, and every time I wanted something to just
you
pop
said
on
he
bitch,
got the
it just
name
popped on it.
in
He
the
got the
series
name
versus the
in the Bucks series because what he did to Drew Bledsoe. I mean Eric Bledsoe. Fuck, got me even calling the guy Drew Bledsoe. That's where he got the name from, Scary Terry, because he went off in that series.
I feel like it was a name he had the whole time.
No, he did not.
I feel like it blew up during the Bucks series.
Unless Terry gave himself Scary Terry, that's the only way he had that name before that playoff series, because that's where that name came out into media. Scary Terry was given to him, if I'm not mistaken, by the media when he was going off on Eric Bledsoe. I remember that vividly as a Boston fan. I
think it's a name he had, and it just blew up because of what he did in the Boston series.
No.
Now Jeremy Lin had nothing. He had nothing.
He went right back to nothing after the 2 weeks.
No, he actually got like $20 million, so he actually got a whole lot.
I'm talking about
pretty nice contract.
His game became the same thing it was after that 2 weeks, equivalent to what?
Yeah, but I'm saying it only happened because he played for the Knicks.
It only happened because
he played for the Knicks.
No, players go off for a short span and they get contracts. It's not just the Knicks. I don't get where you're getting this from.
Because I live in New York, bro. I lived it. That's where
I live in Jersey. I grew up on both sides of it, so I get what you're saying. The hype is real, but you can go to another place and get hype. It's not just New York.
There's no way in hell Jeremy Lin
was in LA, if Jeremy Lin was in LA and he did that shit, they were calling him Linsanity.
That's probably the worst example you could have did. It's the second biggest market in the world. If he did it in Toronto, no, it would never happen. If Jeremy Lin did what he did,
if Jeremy Lin did that on the Golden State Warriors before Golden State was actually Golden State, they would have been calling him Linsanity. Is exactly what they would have called him.
Nobody would care.
Okay. Nobody cares. Sure. That's why he got the $20 million, right? Because nobody cared. It wasn't from the Knicks, because they kicked his ass goodbye. See you later. And what did he do after that? What did the star do after that, Clutch? What did the star of Jeremy Lin of Linsanity do after that?
But do you know why he got the contract he got and why it wasn't from the Knicks?
Because they saw something in him, right? It was the same
reason
why
No. It was because it was a restricted contract, and the money they gave him, they knew the Knicks wouldn't match it. It wasn't because they saw anything. They just wanted him. The Knicks wanted to keep him, but they couldn't afford him.
Carmelo didn't want him. That's the real reason. Let's be real.
If he did it in Portland, nobody would care.
No, hey, if he did it in Portland, I still think he would have been called Linsanity. Because that's just how the NBA works. When a guy starts going off, they get nicknames.
It's not.
What they do?
They do overhype.
They do
moments.
They do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you would have called him it, Clutch. I'm not saying I would have called him it. I'm saying media would have called him it regardless. You're
missing my point. He wouldn't have had a documentary if he didn't do this.
He had a documentary. The documentary that, if you watch the documentary, it was based on him getting to the NBA and his struggles in the NBA.
And what was the end of
because he was cut for 5 teams.
What was the end of the documentary about?
The end of the documentary?
Yeah.
The end of it. What was the whole documentary about?
What was the end of the documentary about?
What was the whole documentary about?
What was the end of the documentary about?
So the only the end of the documentary is important.
Because that's what sold the whole documentary.
No.
The documentary does not get picked up by Netflix if he's not a New York Knick and it's not Linsanity, bro.
It's so funny we're talking about a documentary because he has another one coming out. That was the last topic on the list. It was Linsanity's fucking documentary that's coming out that he does not deserve. He does not deserve it. And so for that, I would agree with you. He's only getting it because it was in New York. That's the only, I would give you that. But he didn't get his nickname. He did not get his name because he did it. There's several other places Linsanity would have been born if he did exactly what he did.
Would you care? No.
Everybody would still care. I don't care that he was called Linsanity in New York. Clutch, if you're asking me if I care, Clutch, if you're asking me if I care that he was called Linsanity in New York, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that they called him Linsanity in New York. What I'm saying to you is he gets the nickname regardless because that's what the media does. They just hand these shits out like they're free tickets.
You're missing my point. My point was they could give him the nickname. I don't care about the nickname. It wouldn't stick and it wouldn't be as big as it is today if he didn't do this at Madison Square Garden. It wouldn't.
So why did Scary Terry stick and he did not do it in Madison Square Garden?
Did he get a documentary? When he got a documentary,
we don't know if he's going to get one yet. You don't know if he's going to get one yet.
Jeremy Lin got a documentary the next season.
I think the biggest thing that the reason why he got a documentary
get it because there's producers in New York that would think, oh, that's a moneymaker. He's hot right now. Let's get that done fast. That's why Jeremy Lin got one the next season. Because it's money making. It's going to make a producer money. And that's exactly what it did. And it didn't just highlight, hold on, Clutch. It did not just highlight Linsanity. It highlighted everything he went through. That's why I have respect for Jeremy Lin. Because he went through a lot to get in the NBA. He was cut from several teams. Didn't really get a chance till he got to New York. But that moment is overhyped. It was a great moment in history. Insanity is one of the most overhyped things in the NBA, bro.
Let's be honest. We watch movies for the ending.
No.
You do. Yes, you do. You don't watch Avengers Endgame to watch the opening credits, bro. You watch for the ending, bro.
Then skip to the ending.
His ending is what stole it. His ending was solid.
Then skip to the ending. Then skip to what said, I like the story too. It's the same reason why I play story games. The same reason why I play story games, because I want to be invested into the story. I don't watch movies for the ending.
If he doesn't do what he did in New York City at Madison Square Garden, he doesn't get a documentary. You don't care about the documentary. The documentary is not even a thing. How? You know how many play? Yo, prime example. What's his name? Hassan Whiteside. He literally came out of nowhere, went through a whole lot, got on with Miami. Where's his documentary?
This is the thing.
2 weeks of doing what Jeremy Lin did.
This is the thing that people are
Where's
missing.
his 2 weeks of doing what Jeremy Lin did?
He did it for a whole season, bro. He's one of the better defensive players for a whole season. He got
defensive players. Okay, now we're moving the needle from the offense.
This is the thing that would
Jeremy Lin didn't play no damn defense.
Yeah, this is the thing that would give Jeremy Lin a documentary, regardless of the fact of whatever market he was in. It's because he was Asian and he was the other Asian basketball player other than Yao Ming to make it in the league this far. That's why he would have got a documentary. That's just facts.
I didn't want to go there.
Him playing for the Knicks has no.
We're not saying it has no effect, but I'm saying
it doesn't matter. That's reality.
It does.
That's reality.
Like we're arguing.
No, it doesn't. That's reality. Because Yao Ming got a documentary and he was in Houston.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It does.
Yao Ming got a documentary and he was in Houston.
Bro, he's also he's also in the Hall of Fame. Are we really comparing Jeremy Lin?
He was one of the other Asian players to play in the league for a long period of time.
Just to quote Troy, so we're comparing a Hall of Famer to a guy who had a 2-week run. That's what we're doing.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that regardless,
because you literally just said we're comparing Jeremy Lin to Hassan Whiteside, so we're comparing offense.
No,
what I'm saying,
because that's two different. Because that means they were known for two different things.
But I'm talking about the impact. I'm talking about the impact.
Is different. You impacting defense and you going off on the scoring run like Jeremy Lin did is two different things. And you're not going to get glorified. You're not going to get glorified for going off on defense the way how Whiteside did, and then getting glorified for what Jeremy Lin did. More players are going to get glorified for doing what Jeremy Lin does.
Does Isaiah Thomas got a documentary?
Does Jimmy Butler have a documentary?
Does Isaiah Thomas got a documentary? Does Isaiah Thomas have a documentary? Does Isaiah Thomas have a documentary?
See,
no, I'm asking
will get one.
I'm asking you, do we have one now?
No, you don't know.
But see,
it goes into.
But hold on. You want me to listen? Just hear me out. You're sitting here and you're screaming, I don't know. Isaiah Thomas did what he did years ago. Jeremy Lin did what he did years ago and got a documentary.
Okay, so what is the marketing strategy around IT having a documentary?
His sister passed it, and he goes out there in the
That's
playoff
not
game
money
and drops
maker.
53.
I'm
Yes, it
telling you
is.
right now, that Hollywood is not a money maker. You know what? It's a money maker.
Not compared to the Jeremy Lin
did.
story.
What are you talking
Not
about?
compared to the Jeremy Lin story.
You're trying to tell me
why
a
doesn't Sam
story
Bowie,
like that?
Why doesn't Sam Bowie documentary gets mentioned?
Why the fuck? I'm so confused. What's the point?
Why doesn't Sam Bowie's documentary gets mentioned?
I'm trying to.
Why isn't his documentary above the top documentaries? He was a good player, right? He averaged 16 points. I think it was like 8 rebounds on his career played. I think it was
Sam Bowie. You talking about the guy who got drafted before Michael Jordan?
Yep, guy who broke his legs 4 times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the guy I'm talking about.
What about him?
Right. He was this, highly talented.
Okay.
Guy coming out of college.
He also
I'm
played in
asking
Portland.
you. So I'm getting it.
He played in Portland. He played in Portland.
He also has a documentary.
Okay,
right?
that nobody
His story
knows about.
is always told. I know about it, right? And that's a true basketball fan, right? That you would know that a guy like Sam Bowie that got drafted before Jordan has a documentary, right? Because he broke his legs 4 times in the league. Those stories sell. That's why I asked you about Sam Bowie. A lot of people know Sam Bowie has a documentary because those documentaries sell. What are you getting out of an IT documentary?
How much did it sell? How much did it sell?
What are you
a lot
getting?
Of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't know about it.
Speak for yourself, because that's what I'm
doing.
But
you just spoke for everybody, though. You literally just said a lot of people know about it.
I spoke for me and then counted you. I counted you because when I watched it, it tells you how many people watched it, and it was in the thousands of people that watched it. So you cannot sit here and say that nobody knows about it. You don't know about it.
But you said a lot of people. All night. A lot of people don't know about it.
Counter you.
Okay. So thousands of people watched it. Okay.
A thousand of people is not a lot of people.
On the planet, not really.
On the planet, that's not a lot of people.
On the planet, not really. On the planet,
now
not
we're going
really.
to planet. There's no longer. You see, the needle is just jumping left and right.
Bro, you just moved the needle to put 5,000 people in one room. If I put 5,000 people,
is it a lot of people? I'm staying on the needle. I said a lot of people watched it. That's
in what context?
So I said,
in what context of a lot of people? In what context
of a lot of basketball people watched it. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, 5,000. If you're asking me,
I didn't say 5,000 watched it. I said if I put 5,000 people in the room, it was an example.
So if you're gonna do that, so what was the number?
Oh my god.
What was the number?
Oh my god.
What was the number?
I'm going to check right now.
Okay.
You are. Because
I need to know what was this a lot of people.
All I'm saying is it doesn't matter what market Jeremy was in.
It 100% did matter. It 100% did matter.
He was gonna get a documentary regardless.
He wouldn't have got the documentary as fast as he got if he didn't play for the New York Knicks. It wasn't gonna happen.
He would have got it regardless.
No, he wouldn't have. Because there's been Asian players after him that didn't get documentaries.
Who?
It was a guy for the Bucks. I forgot his name. I think his last name was.
You forgot his name exactly.
What is your point, though? You said he only got it because he was Asian. My point is, there's been plenty of Asian players after him that got.
Did they last as long as Jeremy Lin?
No,
yes, they lasted longer than Jeremy Lin.
Did they last? No, they didn't, because you don't even know their name.
Did they do what Jeremy Lin did?
What? Jeremy Lin did what he did because he did it in New York City, bro.
All right, and Scary Terry got Scary Terry because he did it in New York.
If Jeremy Lin did the same, it had the same exact moment in Portland, it would have been Linsanity in Portland.
No,
if he did it in Charlotte, he would have been Linsanity in Charlotte. Yes, he would have.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, he would have.
Nobody would care, bro.
Yes, they would.
Bro, he was in Golden State for years.
You want to know what the God on his? You want to know what the God?
Did he play in Golden State though?
Do you want to know what the God on his truth is? GK said this, and GK's Asian. He said Jeremy Lin got a lot of attention at that time because he put Asians back on the map.
Thank you. That's the point.
An Asian said this. An Asian clutch.
That is the point. I can go ask my wife right now.
But you act like him being in New York didn't play a big role.
No, I didn't say that. I said him playing in New York will have the same effect as him playing in LA.
It wouldn't. And you keep using LA. LA is a terrible example. If he did what he did in Milwaukee, it would not have the same effect as it would in New York City. No, it wouldn't.
I'm comparing New York's market, the same market he was in, to another team that's around the same market. I'm not putting him in a smaller market and being like, oh, he's not going to be able to get that nickname there. Oh yeah, some people do get smaller markets. Where was OJ Mayo?
Hold on.
Where was OJ Mayo when his name became named?
Hold on. But this is what you're doing. But he keeps saying he would do the same thing if he played for Portland It doesn't matter. That's what he said.
Yes.
He would.
You're
Yes,
answering.
100%.
No, he
100%.
wouldn't.
100%.
No,
100%.
it's not the
100%.
same market. So then,
100%.
so then what was your point about saying the market's then? Explain.
What?
What was your point? What was the point of you saying the whole thing about I'm putting him in a similar market? Why did the market matter then? I'm so confused.
But I'm not the one that said the market did not matter.
You just said it.
Mulich, what the fuck did I just say?
I said the market don't matter.
Thank you, Mulich. You put
you
in words,
with
you're
him.
switching. No, I did not.
Oh my God. So what
I
you say?
said 5 times tonight already, Clutch. It does not matter of the market because if you put him on the LA team, the same thing happens. That's what I said. I said it 5 times. Did I not?
Hold on.
He specifically said LA, and you said that's a bad example, but that's the only.
I said that 5 times tonight. 5 times. I never agreed with him with saying it was a bad one. I even said it. No, I agree with you. New York has something to do with it. But if you put him in a similar market, the same thing happens. And if you put him in a lesser market, the same thing happens. You want to know why?
Hold on. Why does the same thing happen?
Because him being Asian played a big part into his name being blown up. They started, right? Asians started, talking. Everybody, Jeremy Lin, and this Asian, that's in the thing. Don't think they wasn't like the older Asian boy. Don't think they was an older Asian kid. That plays a lot into it. And I don't even like going the race route. That's why I never said it. But that goes a lot into it. Yes,
neither do I, but that's reality, though.
But listen to me. Yes, him being in New York played a role in it. But to me, in my opinion, it's no different than a role he'll play being in another big market or him doing what he did consistently. And if he got more wins with it, it will help him even more. Because as Mr. NBA said, he went 10-9 in that stretch. So just imagine he went 15-4 and on Portland. And Lin Sanity was going crazy. They're still calling him Lin Sanity. The Asians are still going retarded for him because that's what they do. That's what they do.
I don't think it hits the same in another market.
I'm fine with you disagreeing. I'm fine with you.
I do. I think it hits.
I think it hits the same in every market.
Honestly,
but hold on. Do you think it hits the same in every market, or don't you? Because now you're saying you just said you think it hits the same in any market. Which one is it?
What was my statement before that, Mulich? I said if it's a similar market and a lesser market. Did I not say that?
But you also just said that. But you just said it hits the same in any market. You just said that. Did you not just say it hits the same in any market? You just said that. You literally just said that. You just said it hits the same in any market. You're literally contradicting yourself.
And I literally just said if it's the same in any market in a different way. I said, hey, if you put them in the same market, if it's the same, and if you put them in a lesser market, if it's the same. So what are you talking about? How am I contradicting myself? I just said it in 2 different ways.
Whatever.
How am I contradicting myself?
Whatever.
Did I not?
Whatever.
Did I not? Did I not just say the same thing? If you put him in the same market, Jeremy Lin is the same. If you put him in a lesser market, Jeremy is the same. I think Jeremy Lin Sanity is the same in any market. Okay. It's the same thing.
Okay, you can believe that.
Now we're down to believing. That's what I believe. That's the whole point of us having this debate, Clutch.
Okay.
It's because you believe it was just New York, and me just don't see it that way. I don't see Lin Sanity just being a New York thing. Yes, New York played a part in it, but LA would have played a part in it if he did that in LA. Why do you think his reputation was tarnished in LA when he waved Kobe off? Because they don't put up with that shit. Why did you think his reputation was tarnished when he waved Kobe off?
You're sitting here and
if Kobe got injured,
you're gonna let me talk? Like you're sitting here and you're making it seem like I'm saying it's New York, it's New York, it's New York. No, it's New York because of the market. It's New York because of the market. New York, we make stars. We made Julius Randle out to be one of the better players in the NBA after one season. This is what we do. But see, this is what I say one thing and you drag it to be something else. We make players bigger names.
Drag it to be something else.
Oh my God.
Please tell me how I dragged the NBA. Mr. NBA, please tell me how I dragged it to be something else. And I'm with you. Prime Danny Green clears prime Jeremy Lin. I'm with you. And Danny Green ain't even got no prime.
What the hell was the point of that?
Hey, it's an inside from the sideline thing.
Oh.
you had to be here to understand it. But Mr. NBA was here, so. And I think Mulich was here, too. Prime Danny Green got pretty nasty. It got Pretty nasty. Prime Danny Green, just like Prime Jeremy Lin. Them shits never existed. I don't even know why we over here debating this dude. I don't know why you're going so hard for him. I get what you're saying. I sort of agree with you. Yes, him being in the New York market helped. But Linsanity anywhere else is the same thing. And I equivalently said it. Vince Carter, when he was going off in Toronto and they gave him his nickname. That's not a big market, bro. That's not a big market at all. He still got Vinsanity. It's not a big market at all.
I think comparing the two is laughable.
No, I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying how the name came. I'm telling you, if we're talking about markets and guys getting their nicknames for doing something in a big market, Vince Carter did something in a small market and still got the equivalent name that's not an equivalent name, a bigger name than Jeremy Lin, right? Because he's a better player. I'm not disputing. I'm not arguing with Jeremy. He's a better player, right? But in a smaller market, he was still able to get a name like Vinsanity in a small market. And that's what I'm telling you. If Jeremy Lin was that guy, right, and he did the same thing in any other market, right, he will get the same nickname. That's all it is, Clutch. It's a nickname.
I don't think 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is sufficient in other markets to get the hoopla he got. I don't.
I do.
So, and why does Michael Porter Jr. get the hoopla he gets?
What the hoopla does Michael Porter Jr. get? I'm so confused.
I think he does just because the media likes to overhype people.
That's what they do. Mulich, we on the same page tonight. I don't know where Clutch. I love you. I don't know where you at, but if you don't hear the media attention around MPJ and how he's supposed to be this thing and how everybody talks about his efficient season, he won 19 points. 50% from the field.
All right, hold on. I'm thinking, you said Michael Porter Jr. I'm thinking of Otto Porter. That's what I was thinking about. That's why I was like, what hoopla?
Otto, Michael Porter. Why do you think he gets
the hold on, but Michael Porter,
people like to jump, Clutch. That's what we're saying. The media likes to jump and give these guys names and give them the fame and all this shit before they even earned it.
But Michael Porter is also somebody who had extreme potential before he ever stepped foot on the NBA. So that's another reason. But that's another reason why, because he was somebody who would have been the number one pick in the draft if he didn't mess up his back, if I'm not mistaken. And now we see him do a little bit of what we thought he could be. So yeah, we're gonna run with that. But the difference between Michael Porter and everybody else is he had a backing. We thought he could be great. Nobody thought Jeremy Lin could be anything but maybe a 13th man on the bench. And I live in New York. I lived in New York my whole life. I've seen us overhype and make okay players into all-time greats. Larry Johnson was here, and he was pretty average towards the end of his career. And I was literally in school running around throwing up L's like he was a doggone superstar. This is what we do in New York. New York. Prime example, what's his name? Daniel Jones has a nickname. Why?
Why? Because in his rookie year, he threw 5 touchdowns 3 times. Danny Dimes. That's why he got his nickname.
It's also because he plays for the Giants.
Oh my God. Okay. So Joe Shiesty.
He made it to a Super Bowl.
Right, but he had Joe Shiesty before he made it to the Super Bowl.
Why? Because what he did in college. He had the name before he came to the NFL.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's why football is different. That's why I'm gonna tell you. Let's end it.
And that's why he got the nickname. Because he came from a quote unquote non-football school, and he went off one game and he had that long ass run. So now everybody overhyped him, just like the media does.
And it has a lot to do with the fact that he played for the Giants.
Well, I mean, Jimmy G had a nickname before he stepped foot in San Francisco.
Yeah, but
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G also had a nickname because he went 3-0 when Tom Brady went out.
They was calling him Jimmy G before the season even started.
He was calling him Jimmy G because nobody wants to say Garoppolo.
It's really not that hard. Stephen A. Smith was on record saying, I'm not gonna give him any other nickname other than porn star Jimmy because that's what we know him for, is for hanging out with porn stars.
That's just weird to call another grown man porn star Jimmy. That's weird. That's weird.
That's what he's seen him do. That's what he's seen him do. Before he threw a touchdown pass,
I was ordering Chinese food. What happened?
he was messing around with the dope film models.
I'm going
and
to bed
shit.
late tonight because
So,
of you. It's because
you
of
feel
you.
me? Like that's what's that everybody was trying to call him Jimmy G and stuff like that, trying to give him that nickname. And Stephen A was like, I haven't seen him throw a pass. I haven't seen him do anything. I haven't seen him win a game yet. So why would I give him a nickname? He doesn't deserve a nickname. The only thing I've seen him do was kick it with an adult film star. So that's what I'm going to refer to him as.
I just don't understand how you guys can sit back and understand it's the media, but just disregards one of the biggest media markets in the world.
I didn't disregard it, but okay.
I'm not saying New York doesn't play a part. I'm just saying it the same.
But you are saying it. You said it multiple times.
I'm saying I never said New York doesn't play a part. I'm saying it's the same everywhere else, no matter where he is. It's the same thing.
100%.
Everywhere else doesn't matter. That's my position. Anywhere else he's at, because he's Asian and because he had the playing time he had the shine that he had. Anywhere else that he played at, if he had that same shine, he's doing the same exact thing because of how he inspired other little Asian kids to do the exact same thing. Because he was putting Asian basketball.
The one thing I want to say this, and then we go. I'll give you. Go ahead,
why.
Clutch. I'll let you get your last word in, and then I'll get mine, and then we're gonna close out. Go ahead, Clutch.
I think I said enough, man.
The one thing I love the debates, though. I hope nobody we haven't. This was fun. It wasn't supposed to be 2 hours. It was supposed to be an hour, but Boo Wop, I told him we still on. Boo Wop jumped in. I told him we about to close out, but where you go? Where Clutch go? How he leave like that? Boo Wop, you done missed it, bro.
Man, bro.
It got real spicy in here, man. Real spicy.
Yeah, it got fucked up in here. All right, wait. Clutch is going off in here, bro. It had me. My kid's probably getting to sleep right now. I'm sorry, baby. Like, Clutch is something else, bro. What was the first thing? Oh, James. There was still a James Harden thing with you when you cut out, and then we went to
Jeremy Lin and Lin Sanity.
Jeremy Lin and Lin Sanity. There you go, Clutch back.
Yo, my bad. I hit the wrong button.
Sanity. Yeah, I'm like, why did you just exit out? He said I had enough of you motherfuckers. I gotta get out.
I hit the wrong button.
But no, the one thing I wanted to say to you, Clutch, to finish out with the Jeremy Lin conversation is him being Asian played a big part in why everybody went crazy for him. A big part. Ask Asians. Go talk to Asians about it, and they will tell you it was a big part why Lin Sanity became what he was. It's not so much of him being in New York than him being Asian. But New York does play a part in it because it's a bigger market where you can spread it around a lot faster. But I think he's still that. If he does that for that month or whatever it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. Y'all niggas saying a month, 2 weeks.
You can give him like 3.5.
It was 2 weeks. You feel me? But
I don't know, man. I think it don't happen nowhere else but like in those major cities though. The way it happened. It got to happen in the major city, though.
Thank you.
I don't think it happened in OKC. Like, because I'm just saying, like in OKC,
Asian,
like
bro. That goes a long way. It might not be the same. Clutch, if you're saying it's not equivalent to him being in New York, I can agree with you that. But he still gets the name Linsanity, and all the little Asian boys are still going crazy.
He doesn't get the documentary. He doesn't get the documentary. He doesn't get the documentary.
He gets it. He
definitely gets
the documentary. He gets it because he's Asian.
Not if he's a net. Not if he's a net. He doesn't get the documentary.
He definitely gets it.
He gets it because what it does for the Asian community. That's money. That's a market. They market him. That's why he's getting another documentary.
Not to mention how big the NBA is in China. He gets that documentary.
They're marketing him. They're marketing him. That's all they're doing is marketing him. That's all they're doing is marketing. I gotta get out of here because I gotta go get my Chinese food. So I ordered me some Chinese food. But now, Clutch, I had fun. I hope you had fun, man. This shit was fun.
I'm back, man.
Yeah, anytime you want to debate, Clutch, man, get your ass up here. We like these debates, man. It's not supposed to happen like this on Wednesday night. We're supposed to be laid back. But Clutch, you were saying some wild shit, and I guess we were saying some wild shit to you.
It got real spicy in here, man.
Got real spicy in this.
So good.
You feel me? But anybody want some final thoughts? Movies, final thoughts?
I'm back, man. Sports TikTok, the Sports Muru, Sports Twitter, the Sports Muru. Fuck with me, y'all.
Clutch, final thoughts?
Nah, I'm good, yo. I'm good.
He said I'm good. That's his final thoughts. That's not how you exit final thoughts. Boo-wah, final thoughts.
Oh shit! You already know, man. See y'all Friday, man.
See y'all on Friday. That's what it is, man. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that damn like button. Go follow Clutch. Go follow Mulich. Go hit Boo up on his damn socials, man. And yeah, catch us later, man. Peace out.